Okay, we're on.
Awesome.
Yay. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming. Okay, we're on.
Yeah, now I got the thing
Thank you for
about
coming, Queen, Alex, Jason. Another Sunday. A wonderful Sunday.
yeah. This is the last Sunday of mm, April.
I know.
That's interesting month. Tomorrow we're
Yeah.
opening a new month, new week, new month, new energy. Yeah,
Yeah.
gonna be a good one.
Well, that's good. Everybody had a good day today. Queen.
It was all right. Can't
Was it?
complain.
That's cool. Already tomorrow's Monday, right? Back to work.
Well, in Aruba it's a holiday. In the Netherlands
Hi,
too,
Annie.
so not
Oh, wow.
people would.
Hi,
Yeah,
Annie. I'm glad you came. Hope you're doing okay.
hey,
Yeah.
any blessing.
Kimba was here. She'll probably come back later.
Hey, I saw Your Highness there.
Yeah.
Blessing. Yeah, hope
Okay.
everybody had a relaxed Sunday.
We did.
I see a new person there, Guan Lit. Guan Lit.
Gualed. Hi.
Knowledge.
Thank you for
Knowledge.
coming. Who was it?
Knowledge. It's just spelled different.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah. I tried to read it. Guan Lit. Guan Lit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, there is Your Highness. Blessing.
Let me get on my phone. I'm gonna use my phone too. Hi,
Oh, yeah.
Kimba. Kimba. Sorry, Kimba.
Or Simba. Hey, Simba.
Yeah.
Kimba. There's Mary. Hey, Mary. I
Hi,
assume
Mary.
Casey's
Hi,
here too.
Kimba. Thank
Mary.
you.
Mary.
Hi,
Hey,
Mom.
Mary.
Ganja.
I
You
call
know,
her Mom.
Casey is not far. Casey is not far.
Yeah.
Mary and Casey. Blessing.
Yeah. Good.
Hey,
Thank you, Kimba. Yes, yes, yes. That's awesome. Thank you.
hey Ganja Mom. Blessing. Good to see you.
But yeah, this is a very interesting day today.
Yeah. In a year of knowledge revering. So this night I have is talk about the ancient America, not talk about
Yeah.
ancient America. What we don't really they talk at school or the mainstream, they don't teach about that. But yeah, apparently America has a lot of things hidden. There's a time there was pre-Columbus time. They call it pre-Columbian time. Columbian.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
That
Matt.
the people in America were already thriving. They had cities. There was civilization thriving. You know, without the Europeans. And it wasn't that they were living in huts or things like that. They had things built on this in the U.S. called uh, civilization. Pyramid structure.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Matt.
Be mindful of your sound, Alex. You're a little low.
Oh, damn.
There we
Okay,
go.
yeah, I
Yay.
forgot. I have to talk like this then. You damn it. Well, yeah, there were a lot of structures in the U.S. pre-Columbian time civilization that was thriving already without the help of the Europeans. You
Mm-hmm.
know. So, oh yeah, Jason, you had an article, right? What was the article about again? The
We had a
one,
what?
the article. What was the article
Oh,
about?
yeah. It just came out 3 days ago. It was about the man who discovered the underground city in the Grand Canyon.
which is,
Oh, it just came out.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like 3 days ago, I think.
But I'm pretty sure there's more info out there, and he's the recent now that came out
Yeah.
to talk about it then, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't remember the date when this the events in the video occurred, but it was a good while back. The guy was well, you'll see in the video. He found a bunch of ancient Egyptian artifacts down there that had been down there for who knows how long.
You saw the video?
Yeah, I watched most of the video.
Okay.
Okay.
Queen, do you have it? Yes. Never mind. Telepathic. Ah, Queen has it already.
Queen is awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
let's see what this video is about, and maybe some answers will be answered today. Questions that I already know, but for others that don't know what's going on, that this can be a proof of really where everything has started from the beginning of time. Um,
Well,
so this is
at least the beginning of this world.
right. But I mean, the place, not what
Yeah.
we're deceived about and lied to about. But anyways, let's get this going and see what goes on.
Canyon is one of the world's most beautiful sights. But amazing as the beauty of the canyon is, there's something else that makes it truly special. There's an air of mystery that surrounds the canyon, leaving us wondering what secrets lie hidden within its walls. And, well, we're not the only ones. This discovery might just change everything you've ever known about this natural wonder and the secrets it uncovered about the Grand Canyon. But before we get into that, we have to backtrack a little. The Grand Canyon has been considered a sacred ground for Native American tribes since time immemorial. 11 distinct indigenous peoples, including Havasu Pai, Hopi, Paiute, Navajo, and Zuni people, have visited and lived in or around the area of the Grand Canyon for centuries now. For these tribes, the Grand Canyon is not just a beautiful national park. It's deeply ingrained in both their creation stories as well as their religious beliefs. The Havasu Pai, who have lived in and around the canyon for centuries, consider it to be a gateway to heaven or hell. The concept of heaven and hell in Havasu Pai belief is slightly different than the traditional Judeo-Christian concept. They believe that heaven is a place of eternal happiness and joy, where people live in harmony with one another and nature. In contrast, the tribe's concept of hell is a place of great suffering and punishment. It is where the wicked are sent to atone for their sins. The Havasu Pai believed that the souls of the deceased must pass through the canyon to reach their final destination. For the tribe, the Grand Canyon is more than just a physical location. It's a spiritual place where the past and present meet. The canyon's geological features and stunning vistas are an essential part of their beliefs and traditions, and they play a crucial role in their cultural identity. This natural wonder is truly a marvel, but it didn't happen overnight. In fact, it took millions of years of erosion and geological activity to create the masterpiece we see today. The story of the Grand Canyon actually begins around 5 million years ago, when a natural dam filled with sediment created a lake in what is now northern Arizona. As the lake drained, the Colorado River began to cut through the rock, carving out the canyon we know and love today. This process is known as erosion, and it's a powerful force that can create some of the most beautiful natural landscapes in the world. But erosion isn't the only factor that shaped the Grand Canyon. Wind and water have also played important roles in creating the intricate network of canyons, gullies, and other features that make up this breathtaking landscape. over time, the forces of nature have created a place of unrivaled beauty and complexity, a true testament to the power of nature. It's believed that all of this happened far before any humans existed in the area, so all of it was guided by nature alone. But what if that wasn't true? We've always had a pretty solid idea of when humans first appeared on the scene, but everything has changed. Footprints found at the White Sands National Park have shown that humans may have been in America much earlier than we thought. This is huge news because it could mean that humans were living in the area as early as 23,000 years ago. That's 10,000 years earlier than the world previously believed. This one little detail changes everything we thought we knew about our own history. Some experts think that this could be evidence of the earliest humans to venture into the New World. If that's true, it means that we've been here longer than we ever could have imagined. Of course, this discovery is causing quite a stir in the archaeological community. While it's not definitive proof of early human presence in the Americas, it certainly adds some major fuel to the fire. Another researcher, Cyprian Ardelin, thought that humans were present in North America as early as 30,000 years ago. Ardelin even called this discovery the Holy Grail of anthropology and archaeology, and it's not hard to see why. The footprints found at White Sands National Park are a game changer. They're the first tangible evidence we have of a much earlier human presence in the Americas than we previously believed. But the thing is, this awe-inspiring natural wonder might just have over 1 billion years of history behind it. Scientists recently dug deeper into this history by using thermochronology, a fancy method that tracks the history of heat in rock. And what they found was crazy. First, the researchers collected samples of rock from different parts of the canyon. Then they discovered that the western and eastern halves of the canyon might have gone through different geological contortions over time. This could be linked to a breakup of a landmass called Rodinia, which started to split up 700 million years ago. The researchers concluded that the fracturing of Rodinia might have impacted the Grand Canyon in different ways, creating what is now called the Great Unconformity. This strange gap in Earth's rock record has puzzled geologists for years. It's found all over the globe, but it's most visible at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, where 500 million year old Paleozoic Tapeats sandstone directly overlies 1.4 to 1.8 billion year old Proterozoic Vishnu schist. But don't worry. Researchers from the University of Colorado Boulder have been working hard to solve this geological mystery. According to a study recently published in the journal Geology, the missing time period in geological history may be due to a series of earthquakes that occurred during the breakup of Rodinia. The earthquakes would have caused rocks and sediment to wash away into the ocean, creating the gap we see today. The Grand Canyon is like a history textbook, according to lead author Bara Peak. It's a window into the past, allowing us to see the secrets that have been hidden away for billions of years. And with this latest study, we may be one step closer to understanding the complex events that shaped our planet and its inhabitants. And we're not talking about the tribes here. We're talking about the people that were there when no one suspected it. Explorer G.E. Kincaid was a man obsessed with the canyon. He was devastated when he heard that it would soon be closed off to visitors. But instead of wallowing in despair, he decided to have one last hurrah and go on a boat ride down the Colorado River. As he made his way down the river, Kincaid had a plan to search for precious minerals like gold, silver, and copper. But little did he know that fate had something far more exciting in store for him. After sailing for about 40 miles, he spotted something peculiar. Strange stains in the sediment formation that towered over 2,000 feet high. This was not something he had ever seen in the area before. Naturally, Kincaid's curiosity was piqued, and he decided to investigate. So he stopped his boat and set out on foot, even though there was no trail to follow. As he hiked, He soon stumbled upon an incredible discovery. Hundreds of steps carved into the sandstone, leading up to a high shelf on the side of the canyon. What was even more amazing was that these steps led to an entrance that was clearly man-made. But here's where things get even crazier. The entrance led to a hidden passage covered in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. Yes, you read that right. In the Grand Canyon of all places. Kincaid was understandably stunned. People had never existed in that part of the canyon, so how could there be hieroglyphics? And what was the purpose of this hidden passage? Just like anyone else would be at that point, he was eager to find out, so he stepped inside with his flashlight. He found that the tunnel stretched out far into the distance, and Kincaid had a feeling that this was only the beginning of a much bigger discovery. As he made his way deeper into the passage, Kincaid couldn't believe his eyes. He saw intricate carvings, artifacts, and treasures that were centuries old. It was as if he had stepped back in time. The explorer realized that he had stumbled upon something truly extraordinary, an ancient passage that had been hidden for centuries, and he was determined to uncover all of its mysteries. Joe Rogan recently talked about it in his podcast. Long before anyone ever knew about the Grand Canyon, someone was living right beneath it. Kincaid realized that he had stumbled upon an entire underground city. The main passageway was around 12 feet wide, while some of the rooms were as big as 30 by 40 feet square. But that wasn't the most impressive part. The walls were around 3 feet and 6 inches thick. Kincaid was standing in an engineering marvel, a feat that he couldn't comprehend. He had no idea how it was possible to construct something like this. As he explored further, Kincaid found several granaries with shelves, some of which still contained seeds, as well as cooking areas and a huge dining hall. Now, as if finding an underground city isn't impressive enough, this place is on a whole other level. The rooms were as big as 30 by 40 feet square, and ceilings that were converged to a center. And get this, the walls were around 3 feet and 6 inches thick. The rooms were full of all kinds of artifacts, including metal tools made out of copper, a technology that shouldn't have existed in this area. Not at the point in history all of this seemed to be from anyway. He literally couldn't believe what he was seeing. Realizing the importance of his discovery, Kincaid named it the Citadel and sent artifacts and notes to the Smithsonian, asking for financial and logistical support. The Smithsonian agreed, and Professor S.A. Jordan arrived soon after with a team of 40 scientists, researchers, and laborers to help with the excavation and exploration. It soon became clear that the cave system had been expertly designed in a symmetrical layout. It wasn't just a random set of rooms and tunnels. It was a properly planned city, one that served a purpose. The Citadel had been lived in by thousands of people for hundreds, if not thousands of years. But who are these people? What happened to them? Well, that's where things get really interesting. You see, the civilization that crafted this citadel was incredibly advanced for its time and far more sophisticated than any of the native tribes that had occupied the area for thousands of years. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so maybe it was just a really advanced tribe from the area. But the truth is far from it. The theories that were tossed around by the scientists were wild. Some believed that this civilization had traveled from either Egypt or Asia, and the evidence seems to support it. The artifacts found in the citadel were far more advanced than what was typical for the area. The types of artifacts found in the entire area suggest that this was some kind of warrior's barracks. Kincaid and Professor Jordan at this point sent boxes of artifacts and research notes to the Smithsonian Institute to prove their hypothesis. But they wanted more. They wanted to keep researching, to keep uncovering the secrets of this ancient civilization. So they reached out to the Smithsonian again, asking for more resources and a bigger team to help them. Thinking that all of this time, they've been on the same page, so they'll be able to get to the bottom of this. Unfortunately, their request is rejected. And here's where things get really crazy. Just when they were starting to get angry about the lack of help, Kincaid and Jordan vanished without a trace. Suddenly, they were just gone. And all of their workers either left, died, disappeared themselves, or claimed that they don't know anything if someone asked them what happened. That wasn't all. The government stepped in at this point and decided that no one was allowed to enter the area anymore. Seems like a lot of work for people that have nothing to hide. But that's not all that was covered up. All throughout the world, legends and rumors often have a grain of truth in them. Take, for example, the stories of giant skeletons found all over the western United States. While they may sound like something straight out of a science fiction novel, there are reports that suggest that they are real. In fact, some of the Pueblo cultures in the area have their own legends about otherworldly creatures. It's no wonder that when archaeologists began excavating the mounds in America's Midwest, they stumbled upon something that was quite extraordinary. These mounds, which were found in Oklahoma, were unlike anything that had been found in Europe at the time. And it wasn't just the advanced architecture or artifacts, but the skeletons themselves. Some of these skeletons were reportedly as tall as 7 or 8 feet, towering over most people even today. Just like what happened with the Grand Canyon, the Smithsonian was apparently called in to examine these finds too. But when it comes to the Smithsonian and unusual discoveries, things often take a strange turn. While some claim that the giant skeletons were indeed sent to the Smithsonian for further examination, others say that there is no record of this ever happening. It's believed that the evidence of these giant skeletons have been suppressed too. Perhaps the truth is being kept hidden from us, or maybe it's just all a myth. But that's not all either. In 1909, the Arizona Gazette published a shocking theory that sent shockwaves throughout the world of archaeology. According to the article, it was possible that Egyptians had crossed the Pacific Ocean and made the canyons of the Grand Canyon their home. The evidence that was found reportedly proved that a mysterious cavern, which may have been from Egypt, dated back to Ramses. Now, this is not the kind of news you hear every day, so it's not surprising that the article generated a lot of buzz. Many people were fascinated by the idea that ancient Egyptians might have traveled to America and set up camp in one of the most spectacular natural wonders in the world. However, shortly after this theory made it everywhere, it just disappeared. It was said that nothing like this actually happened, and the article was nowhere to be found. People all over the world were left confused about what they were supposed to believe, which just adds to the whole theme here. Be totally consistent with them building the underground city that was found hundreds of years later. Now, one thing that would prove everything to be true would be the bodies of the people that lived in these areas. Well, it turns out G.E. Kincaid did find mummies when he first got deep into the caves. Lots of them. They were perfectly preserved with cloth and bark, surrounded with copper trinkets. At this point, it was clear that a massive team went through all of the evidence, and he sent over his findings to the Smithsonian. While at first, they seemed very open to figuring out the truth behind everything, they later said that there were never any mummies in the first place. With all of the supposed cover-ups, individual explorers decided to take it upon themselves to find out more about what was going on too. In the late 90s, when a couple named Jerry and Kathy Wills decided to investigate Kincaid's claims and search for proof of ancient Egyptians existing in the Grand Canyon at any point in history. For 3 years, they explored the area and conducted extensive research to find the elusive entrance to the underground city. When they found it, there was just one problem. The entrance was nearly 1,500 feet down the sheer canyon wall, making it virtually impossible to access. Finally, the whales found a ventilation tunnel that could potentially lead them to the underground city. But when they tried to enter the tunnel, they found cement blocks blocking their way. Strange platforms with mountaineering hardware were also found in the area, leading some to believe that the government was trying to prevent anyone from accessing the underground city. Of course, the government denies any knowledge of an underground city in the Grand Canyon and has banned all exploration and mapping of the area. But that hasn't stopped adventurers from trying to uncover the truth. However, the risks involved in exploring this area cannot be overstated. The terrain is treacherous, with hidden crevices and narrow passages that could easily lead to injury or death. The government claims they are simply trying to protect people from these dangers, but many suspect that they have something to hide. There seems to be a 50-50 split in opinions about this, with some people not believing anything related to the mummies and the Egyptians, while others are convinced that it's a blatant cover-up and that there's no denying it. Too many discoveries point to ancient Egyptians being a major part of the Grand Canyon history. But the real evidence has long been suppressed by those in charge. Which side of the split do you land on? Do you think there's any truth to the findings? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And like always, we'll see you guys in the next one.
That was interesting. So
Very.
I encountered that story of the two people encountering.
Yeah.
That was in the early 90s, but I didn't know that there was a couple that went in the early 1990s to check it out, and they found it, but it's still lost.
Sealed up.
So
Yeah, it is. It goes back everything that I know so far about Grand Canyon. It's coming to know that we already know Texas is part of Egypt in the time of ancient map wise. So if in the past I told Jason when we were doing this research on this stuff that the tribes, which was the sons of Jacob, um, one of them, I forgot his name, God my Lord, he was captured by his brother, the youngest one, and he became a prince of Egypt, and he was the tribe of Jacob. So when he got into the Egypt area with this priest, the high priest and them, they stayed around Egypt there, his family, his flock, his slaves, you name it. And so when he had to move on, I believe, this is what I get, that he moved to Grand Canyon in that area from Egypt, where Texas is at, is Egypt, moving way toward by this side of Grand Canyon.
you're
And they
saying
brought the artifacts with them. You know what I'm saying? Their artifacts that belong to them. It was Joseph. That's who it was. It was Joseph that moved there. That I believe truly that that's who their tribe, his family, and you know what I mean, right? Their main family of theirs moved there, and that's how they found the artifacts.
So you're saying they moved from Texas to the Grand Canyon, or from Egypt
Yeah.
to the Grand?
No, well, if you go through the map, like what we're talking about, the map on of the United States itself, how Texas shows that it's Egypt. If you go up where I'm at, it shows toward so-called Israel, that I believe it's here, and then Joseph is part of the tribe of Jacob, which is this descendant of Israelites. So he probably was there in Grand Canyon with his family and made a life there, has a city in those days, way back when they were there. That's how I get it, and that's what I feel in my spirit, that the truth is right there in the Grand Canyon of all of it, the whole truth of everything.
That's a possibility. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, Well, it's gonna start in Texas, what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, let me Quentin Queen, can you share the last picture that I sent on 2017 to 2024?
The map.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. Let me put it up.
I snapshot it so you get only the map.
Hold on.
Hi, Tracy. For everybody that came in, hi.
It's still small. Hold on.
Hey, Tracy Wills, blessing. I've been studying the Hebrew.
I mean, I really believe that the truth is coming out now about the true where it began. It says, "You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Indeed, it is, and I think it's beginning to be uncovered finally, where the really truth is at. Because we've been lied to, right? All these years that I've been on Earth.
Well,
So
yeah, for centuries, yes, they have been suppressing knowledge about
yeah.
everything, especially about the giants. That oh damn, it's really so it's very small. Yeah, yeah.
Can you make it?
No, you cannot do big.
I see the
Big.
X.
Yeah, well, there's an X that represents U.S. The first, the line that goes from top to down.
Uh huh.
That that's what happened. That's the eclipse that happened in the U.S. in 2017. Now the one that's gonna go from under to go top, like the line like this, from the Texas, it's crossing
Uh
Texas.
huh.
That line is gonna go through um, apparently the seven Egyptian cities that's
Uh huh.
there. Okay, let me read about it. This actor will entail the common galactic prophecies that equated to the solar eclipse of 2017 to 2024, which equates to the seven, which is symbology of the great purification and judgment of the Most High. This is why the World Economic Forum, along with the United States, has been putting emergency warning alert technology devices and saying it is a test. It's actually socializing humanity for the coming desolation and calamity. The solar eclipse in the spring of 2024 will mark an X over the United States, which is the symbology of the judgment of the Most High to punish the Canaanites, and the eclipse of 2024 is the last eclipse to cross over the United States for 2 decades. Um, this is a sign of the final warning for United States and everything connected to it. The solar eclipse also goes through the seven cities in the United States called Salem, which is called the Salem, no, which is called the Valley of the Shadow of Death in biblical context. Salem, Illinois, which is right across from the Carbondale, Illinois, aka Little Egypt, and Salem, PA, I think Kansas, Salem, Tennessee, Salem, Ohio, Salem, Indiana, Salem, Missouri, and Salem, New York. Salem is equated to Jerusalem, Jerusalem, yeah, Jerusalem. Because America is the true Holy Land, and what was observed by the Canaanites, who are controlled by the black nobility and the draconian archons, and this is why the system and those who follow it will be judged. The eclipse is followed by the blood moon also. I checked, the blood moon is in 2025 in March. So I think that's the final straw. The blood moon. The inception is to the judgment start of the annular solar eclipse, which is 14th of October 2023. the matriarch. It's 3 seconds till midnight cosmic clock. So yeah, it's gonna start then on at midnight at this year, 14 October.
What happened to Queen?
I don't know. Let me see. I didn't know. I think something happened. Oh, yeah, that's the way it
Mm.
Well, anyways, that's talking about the coming judgment that is going to come in the US. It talks
Mhm.
about the eclipse is going to go to the seven cities, Salem cities, Little Egypt. I didn't know that Illinois is known as the Little Egypt. I had a video for Queen to show there's a step pyramid in Illinois called Cahokia, I think. It's a high energy place, and apparently there was like pre Columbus time there was a city there thriving with about 30,000 people they calculated that were living there before Columbus arrived. And yeah, they had pyramids and a few structures there. There's still the step pyramid is still visible there,
Mhm.
staircase to it. But let's see.
Okay, Queen.
Oh,
She gotta
in the
she gotta restart.
oh
Wow. Okay.
okay, so let it stop. Okay, cool. So yeah, no, that's gonna come out for sure about the ancient America. I heard there's also stories the same with America. It's also with England. England is not what they say it is. It's also part of the Holy Land. I know in England there's also pyramids, but I understand I read that America has more pyramids, while the United States than Egypt.
Mhm.
I sent Queen also a map about the pyramids there.
I think I think all America, the whole Americas, has more of it than the Middle East.
Yeah,
Think
I really truly believe that it's here, all America. I'm not just saying the country. All America has more than anybody can imagine in their own country what they have.
there's a interesting passage in Isaiah. It's Isaiah 11:15. It
Yeah.
says, "And the Lord shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the seven streams, and make men go over dry shod." Now, if you consider the Gulf of Mexico, um, the Egyptian Sea,
Mhm.
um, we actually have seven rivers that converge into it, which would
Yeah.
be,
The Mississippi.
yeah, the seven streams that it talks about.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, we got the Mississippi, we got the Red River, the Arkansas River, the Missouri River, the Illinois River, the Ohio River, and the Tennessee River. That's seven rivers.
Mhm. And it's all by that area too.
Yeah. And I hear it's already going dry.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard that too.
it's going dry.
Yep.
Yep.
So same as the Euphrates River is also going dry.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So
So
we
they're not.
could have uh, the Euphrates or the Nile as the Mississippi River,
Yeah.
or the Mississippi River being its, predecessor for the story.
Okay.
And of course, that all comes out right in Louisiana, which is right next to Texas.
Oh yeah, you're
Yep.
not far from
Yep.
Louisiana itself.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I honest and truthfully 100% and more in my gut feeling, in my blood, in my spirit that It's in All America, all the information, all the truth, every evidence is in All in America where it had started. Now, Canada is part, if I'm correct, of Americas. I'm not sure, I don't remember, but Canada has some part of it, but all America is part of the ancient time. See, and like I was telling, Jason, I told Jason one day when we were doing all this to do somehow out of my mind said do backwards Arizona backwards, and it comes out the what we're saying, what we're talking about, right, Jason?
Yeah, it's actually Hebrew, which is derived from Sanskrit, and it means place of origin.
See,
What means place of origin?
Anozira, which is Arizona backwards.
Oh, so that's why you're saying that that the Garden of Eden was a big
exactly.
possibility that was in Arizona.
Mhm.
Okay, I know that.
Yeah. This is why it's so important. I mean, like I said, we have been so lied to, and that we didn't realize it until now we're all opening up, right? We're waking up. But I'm waking up both ways, spiritual and physical, which is where I'm living now in modern time. But in the spiritual realm, I'm more waking up to find all this truth, to give up the truth. Because I told Jason, it's been a long time I've been finding a lot of truth about all America and the beginning of time, basically, in this time.
Yeah, when I first heard her talking about it, I thought, this is crazy. But I researched everything that she told me, and here we are. Even got
Well,
mainstream is even starting to look into it.
yes, yeah. There's one famous archaeologist. Oh, well, yeah, you know about him, Graham Hancock. He went around the world with his
Hmm.
wife, dive around and discover a lot of those sites. I don't know. Could be that. Yeah, could be America near the coast because of a lot of cities are underwater, under the coast, underwater, right in front of the coast, but underwater. But
Yeah.
America has few structures that's right in the coast underwater. I don't know. He found well other places, England, India, Japan. There's a lot there. In India, they found another one recently, near the coast, underwater, big structure. Uh, and between India and Sri Lanka, there's also one there underwater, because in the past they were one, Sri Lanka and India. Now they're
Hmm.
divided a bit by the ocean, so under there too. So yeah, yeah, just to show you that was a world which before our time. There was another world higher civilization
And
thriving.
right, and not only that, look at where the turtle land is at in the Americas.
Turbulent?
Uh,
Turtle
yeah,
land.
the Native Americans called um, this continent, which includes Canada and Mexico, they called it Turtle Island, the whole landmass.
Oh, so that's their name for America, turtle, a
Turtle
turtle island.
Island. Yep.
Interesting. Well, it connects, the whole America connects from, it starts with Alaska and it goes till Panama.
Yep.
There, I think it disconnects. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Don't know about that. Uh, okay. Oh yeah, that's cool, Salimon. Well, yeah, they use the turtle a lot for the shell, I think, for the calendar, I think. That's
Okay,
13. Yeah, I haven't gone deep into that, but I know they use the turtle shell for something. Oh, that's interesting. Oh yeah, there was a video I filmed. There's a dam that they found in or they make that dam. They cut the mountain there in California, and to make a dam, it's called Pyramid Lake. But you see that it was just a lot of sand, so they had to get the sand out. It was soft. It wasn't hard. The mountain wasn't hard. It was pure of sand. But when they get the sand out, they found a structured pyramid. They left it in California. They left it. I'm, I'm curious how many of them are hidden on the sand there in California or in the U.S.
Yeah, I bet
But
there are.
I
They're all over the place. Some of them have
yeah,
been destroyed. There was I don't remember where it was, but some dude uh, found a pyramid on his property, and he took a bulldozer out there and took the stone from it so he can make a driveway for cheap.
oh, really? Oh, yeah, yeah. I think a lot of them have been destroyed too. In France, I saw one that they destroy one to make a highway. They don't know what it was. Yeah, they're all over. And the biggest one that they found in Europe is in Bosnia, called the Sun Pyramid, and there's three of them. The Moon Pyramid too. That's the biggest one. But they don't really recognize it yet. You know, that will blow the whole lid off. Like, hey, pyramids in Europe, but yeah, and it's the bigger. It's big. Yeah, I think it's bigger than the one in Giza. There's a lot of pyramids here that is bigger than Giza. The one they found in Central America too, in Guatemala. Deep in the jungle of Guatemala, they found a big one there, covered in trees. So you're not gonna see it that good. But if you go close to it with a helicopter, you will see, yeah, there's a structure there.
Yep, they've got them all over the place. Um, there's a corral in Lima, Peru. They've got pyramids there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah. I think that place was dated at almost as old as Göbekli Tepe.
go Blackly Happy. That's in Turkey, right?
That's in Turkey, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you've got Huaylaco, which is kind of near there, and it was dated by plant fibers that they found inside the wall to use as filler. They dated the plant fibers, and that came out to right around 150,000 years old.
150,000 years old.
150,000 years old. Yeah, there's a lot of debate on it, of course, because it doesn't fit with the modern narrative. But yeah, that's like the conservative. It could be up to 250,000 years old. 150,000 is the most conservative number that I've seen on it.
Interesting. Huh. Yeah, we
Wonder
know
where
it goes.
wonder where Cat's got off to. And I wonder if Cajun Queen is waiting in the back room.
There's Queen in the background. The moon goes around the earth. Interesting. Well, yes, the moon do go around the earth. The moon highly affects women on the 28th cycle. There's the 13 moon calendar, the 13-month calendar. Uh, each month
Okay,
one
Queen.
week.
We're just waiting for Cats to get back.
Okay. I guess no one has over witnessed the moon just turning into the sky or blinked on it off like a geometry. Yeah, what I understand, if you want to talk about the moon was now, the moon was brought here. You know, I'm not gonna listen to what the flat earthers say about
sorry, what happened?
atmosphere. I think Konjing is in the
Okay.
background. That's it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
All right. I'm back. Computer just shut down completely.
Oh, it's all right. Welcome back.
Sorry, it took long.
Oh yeah, let me see
All
here.
right.
Sally
Where were we?
Montel. Oh yeah, yeah, the moon is highly affected. I'm just reading what Kim said. The moon affects us. The moon was brought here.
Hmm.
Let me see. Yeah, there's on well, Kim, there's a lot of people that have seen things on the moon. The craft going on the moon, but the Nazi I know was there. Yeah, that's part of people believe. The Nazis, yeah, they go into the moon. They have base there. But right now, the moon has been taken over by the good guys, of what I understand. That's with the moon. Um, uh, oh yeah, Salimon. In my research, America was the main site of a huge holy war. The the giants were involved, and there were a dark and light side. Hmm. Holy war in America. Seems like America was the holy land. If they're finding Egypt artifacts in America with pyramids and all of that,
Yeah,
and
that's
and
what I'm
tax.
saying. That's why it's so interesting. Everything that my grandfather showed me all these 6 years on this journey that I've been on for 6 years, and everything that I have found out that he's shown me through my eyes, um, it's coming to other people's ways too to know the truth. And I really strongly believe it's in America. We've been just lied to. And this is why I say, and I will stand what I'm going to say now, is that 7 countries, there's your number 7, will come against our nation because we are the ones that are more to the holy ground. So
Yeah,
yeah, so everyone is watching Israel at the moment that they're going against Israel, the 7 countries, which it won't be Israel. It will be the United States. This is why there's chaos in our country right now because it has to go back the way it was in the beginning of time, which was peace, love, and of course, cleanness, you know what I mean, spiritual realm wise as well. But we have been taken from these lands from the Europeans, and I'm not blaming no one. I'm talking about ancient time, okay? That they had caught these lands in over 200 years ago. That sin, slavery, everything had began more on this land. In other words, they lied to us as well because there already were people here and they took them, the natives, as slaves to other part of the world and here too. So if you think about it, I mean, it makes a lot of sense on America soil, all America. You have a lot of your tribes here.
yeah, yeah. The whole America. Yes,
Hmm.
this. You see, there were different interference there in America. Wasn't the Hopi that called? They say that the Shaw brothers or sister were blue or something. Blue skin. Blue, yeah, blue people or something. Where they got that?
Blue Star?
Not the blue star. I think blue. Something with blue. I think their skin was blue.
Hmm.
But then in America, you had, or in Mexico, you had the Orion. They had interaction with the people from Orion. And then I think in Guatemala, you had them people had interaction with the Pleiadians,
Uh-huh.
because how they built with the pyramids correlates with the Pleiades and the other one with the Orion. So you see,
Mm-hmm.
in America, there was a lot different interaction with the star people, which we call it the star.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I really truly, it's all here. There's no doubt about it at all. And people are finding it out more and more on it. And like I said, Alex, I didn't know none of this stuff. I'm just saying it by the spirit of my grandfather. He's shown me through it, through my eyes to see the truth because I have been lied to. And why I'm being used by him is because my heart, this is my plan that I came back to life here at this time is to do what I got to do for him. And this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing at the moment now is getting the truth out to the people. Where is America stands in the time at the beginning of the time. And once this is all uncovered, then my journey, my reason to be here is no longer to be here again in this world. I'll be leaving this earth once my job is done. And this is it, by finding the truth to give it to the people to understand that where has it been all this time under our nose is all America, but mostly in our country.
Well, there's also a tie to South America.
Yeah.
There was a gentleman named Frank Waters who picked up a hitchhiker who was a Hopi elder. His name was White Bear, and he got all of his information from this guy called White Bear.
Mm-hmm.
And the story that White Bear told him was that his people came from uh, an island, which Hawaii used to be a part of. Hawaii is the last remnant of that island still above the water. And allegedly, that was the continent which they call Mu, M-U.
Mm-hmm.
And they were at war with the island of Atlantis. So the story goes that Mu sank at the same time that Atlantis sank because of the war that they were fighting. And there were what the Hopi call Kachinas involved, or
Mm-hmm.
Star Brothers. And they rode around in flying shields. That's what the Hopi called them. And the people had become corrupt, much like people are today. Not everybody, of course. There's some good people, but overall, the society had become corrupted, probably because of government. But the story goes that the Kachinas selected the ancestors of the Hopi, and because they were beginning to come into their spiritual nature, and they helped them get to South America, which was supposedly the place that they lived in the previous world. Now, all these events would have happened in what the Hopi call the third world. We're in the fourth world. So it was where the ancestors of the Hopi lived during the second world, and that's how his story went. And there was a guy who came from someplace near Japan, and he said that his grandmother had passed down stories to him that told of the exact same events, and apparently his family was one of the people who used to live on Mu.
Oh, really? So
Yeah,
we came up, what past memory came up from Mu, the Mu time?
yeah, yeah. The
Mm-hmm.
stories were passed down through the families, of course. Um, I don't think any of it was written down. I think it was all oral tradition.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is why they're trying so hard still to this date for the native reservation to be broken up, because the truth, they know the truth more than you and I, and they know the truth. And this is why our government's always trying to keep us away from your own reservations. They don't want you to be taught your culture. They don't want you to know the truth about their ancestors, because they go way back. I'm telling you, we all go way back.
Oh yeah, there were many worlds before this, and now
Yeah.
you're mentioning about the Mu. Yeah, when Mu went down, what I understand, the effect came by to hit Atlantis also, because Atlantis was infiltrated by dark beings
Hmm.
with technology and all that. But what I understand, there's refugees, because some of the Mu beings, people that were aware that they're gonna go down, they relocate. Some left Earth and some relocated onto one place I know for sure is in Mount Shasta.
Hmm.
They're still active today. Uh, is their city? What I understand is called Talos. Talos. That's what the city is called, and there's many of them there. Is the Mount Shasta is also the root chakra of Earth, lies at Mount Shasta, and it's a very high energy place.
Hmm.
Different beings are there, but what I understand, they're in the mountain. They carved out a city in the mountain, and yes, they're still active. So those are what I understand, the refugees of Mu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but I
mean,
think there's many places around the world like they have still the beings reside, but underground, for example.
it's just how infos are coming out now. Information's coming out.
Yeah. Hey, Tracy, got two Tracy's in the chat. Let me see, the moon we see and think it's ours may not be sometimes. Well, that's the thing. The another Hopi, the Zulu talked about that we had another moon here. This story goes way back, and they say that the moon, this one that we have now, was brought here, and you can see that the moon is perfectly aligned between the Earth and the Sun to give us eclipse. Like
Right.
somebody put it there. Somebody knew about the cycle. So yeah. Um, but the moon
Uh,
does amplify energy on this earth. It does give off energy, although it's artificial, but it does give energy.
yeah. But I mean, there's still more out there to know. Hopefully, down the line, when we're doing another live stream, we can bring out more info that I know, what I know, what I've been shown with Jason. Um, but yeah, people might think that I might be saying things that it's not true, but I can guarantee you it is true. Um, very true what I'm saying about all America.
Oh yeah,
And
time will come. Everything's gonna come out. Everything's
yeah,
coming
it
out
is.
slowly. So it is
See,
all good.
the reason why here in the United States has to come out, the truth has to come out, because we need to be healed from this lie. We need to be our body, our ground, because this is a holy ground. Well, the whole land, the world is holy, right? But what I know is that the United States is holy. And for us to get back to where it's supposed to be, things have to happen and clean house. It's called cleaning house. Grandfather is. And that's, in other words, it's bringing out the truth to clean all the mess that they had given us growing up, or in the past as well. So The truth will set us free indeed, and it's gonna happen. And it's coming very soon. We just
Oh,
we just gotta be ready for it because that truth is gonna blow a lot of people's mind when it does come out, and they're all gonna be surprised.
oh
This
yeah.
is one, yeah.
Hey, Hima, what?
Oh my God. Hey, girl, long time no see.
Yeah, but yeah, by doing things like this, talking, doing live stream, you're bringing the truth out, expressing yourself,
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm
expressing.
saying. It's coming out, and like I said, it's not just me knowing the truth. There's a lot of people are already finding the truth on their own, or maybe guided by the light of the truth, like I am. Like I said earlier, I'm here to uncover the lies. And once it's uncovered, I'm out of this world. That's how I feel. I think my journey's going to be to the end soon. And when that happens, the fifth world will come in. But at least I've done my part while I'm here.
But don't you think you're gonna continue go to the other side?
Yeah,
Be-
I will
Because
continue to go.
yes, because what I think is here, we're all here in this timing on this planet because we're all gonna experience a shift, a consciousness shift, energy shift on this planet, which is in the near future.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be before 2030, all right? There's some people say 24, I doubt it, because they're pushing the agenda 2030. They want the
Yep.
people in want everything in control, locked down for 2030. So I think it's right prior to that. They want to round everything off in 2025. So uh, it's around between that time. But they're not gonna able to stop it. But
Mm-mm.
when the energy come in, if you're living in fear, control, envy, you're not gonna be activated.
Mm-mm.
Only if you're living in truth, like uh, you know, cooperation and all that, high energy, then everything's gonna be all right. But everybody
Mhm.
proves their best.
Uh, Alex, I've heard you talk about the looking glass before.
Yes, the looking glass technology. Yes,
From what I heard, it used to show all the probable futures based on current events, right? Is that correct?
yes,
Okay, I also heard that it only shows one outcome and has for several years.
yes. You're
Do you
right.
remember do you remember what that outcome was? I can't seem to recall it.
Um, I think that the elite is gonna go down, but they have only, I don't know, a small percentage of succeeding, and they're going on to that small percentage that they're gonna succeed. But um, where it is going is the revolution of the consciousness that people are gonna wake up to the government control
Mm.
and stand up. Everything's gonna fall in that direction. Is going. We're
Well,
gonna have
what?
a new type of system on the planet. For the
Well, what did?
meantime, till the flash come in. Yes.
Well,
Well,
what's like that? The end of time, Babylon will fall in its feet, and that's what's gonna happen. The Babylonians will fall once and for all, and
yeah,
then
that's what's actually happening
yeah,
already. A wealth
yeah,
a wealth transfer that's gonna go to the people.
yep.
With all knowledge, all that. That's what's
Well,
happening. That's the trying to avoid what is unavoidable. Let put it that way.
yeah.
They try to change the timeline. What I understand with
Mhm.
CERN. CERN. CERN is one of
Mhm.
them. CERN is
Yep.
the public one, but the U.S. has also Hadron Collider machines, but they're on the ground.
Yeah, they're
But
building an even bigger one somewhere. I can't remember where, but they're building a more powerful one too.
yeah, they're not gonna succeed. Sources aware of all of that. They've been having problems from 2011. They're already trying to change the timeline, so we go on a new world order timeline. But they had problems with the machine, and also what I understand, the timeline has changed, but to the
Yeah.
correct one. And
Yep.
they tried to change it, but it's not gonna work. It's not
But
the
see,
timeline will change in
is
2012. It
right.
changed.
Well, isn't the time changing is for us though, for the best, for the good, for the positive?
Yeah,
That's what the Bible says. Yeah, it
yeah.
says
Yeah,
the time will be shortened for the sake of the elect.
exactly.
Because
So,
if the old timeline was
yeah,
that Hillary became the president of the U.S.
right.
and then we're all fucked. And the Skredu Mutwa, the Zulu shaman, also saw that a lady in a red dress is gonna come become the president of U.S. and then the world's gonna fall in destruction with nuclear war. And I know Hillary Clinton had planned when she is in the office 3 months later to start a nuclear war with North Korea. That was their plan.
Yeah,
Hmm.
she also publicly announced that if she got in, she was going to start a war with Russia.
Yes, yes, that was their plan. I know Hillary Clinton and her team hacked the voting system also in 2016. What they did in 2020, they did in 2016 too. But the other group, the good group, the few group, which were involved in that, they also hacked the system and they changed it. And now what happened in 2012, they let it go to see where the roots are, is the command going, who's everybody involved. That's every ballot was tracked. Everything was tracked. They know everything. It leads to Germany, and the Vatican was involved in the last election with the Da Vinci satellite. They know everything. I don't know when is that is gonna come out, but the Vatican was also involved
Well, it's
with the election.
well the Tower of Babylon's falling,
Oh
and
yeah,
when it all falls down, the Babylonians, um, then we will finally be set free from all the chaos and the lies and the deceit. Now, Babylonians go back in ancient time where there were high power until Israelites took over them and conquered them and almost got rid of H1 Babylonians. But they also said that there will be revenge at the end of time. Now here we are in the end of time, which they say, right? The Bible. This is what the Bible speaks. And here we are is the end times, and the Babylonians have been in control for a long time already. But now it's their time to fall on their knees, which is also connected to the Statue of Liberty in New York. She's a Babylonian. She's not what people think she represents for our country, to be honest.
yes,
Well,
you're right.
speaking of Babylon, Babylon came about after Sumeria fell. They were like the
Hmm.
remnants of Sumeria, and there are thousands of Sumerian artifacts in, uh, I believe it's Peru,
Yep.
right around that area, and they
Peru?
actually have, yeah, Peru. They actually have
Peru.
more Sumerian artifacts in Peru than they have in what they call ancient Sumeria.
Yep.
Interesting. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, this is why I'm saying it's all in Americas. I mean, I wish people knew that, but we have there's so much info and evidence in the other Americas that I haven't been there yet to do more research on yet, which I'm waiting through Grandfather's Eyes to show me more about it. But yeah, Jason's right. There is a lot in Peru has a lot of connection with the Nazca lines.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they found a new one. They found a new
Mhm.
one, Peru, a new Nazca line. Yeah, Peru is a lot with other. Peru also lies like I said, the first chakra, the first one, the root chakra of Earth is in Mount Shasta. The
Yep.
second one is in Peru. Is
Mhm.
between what's called Machu Picchu and Lake Titicaca. And what I
Mhm.
understand, under Lake Titicaca, there's an underground
Another one.
civilization
Yep.
living there.
Old one.
On yeah, you can say under each chakra, Earth chakra, there's an underground civilization living because I heard three for sure: Mount Shasta, Lake Titicaca, and
Uh-huh.
Mount Giza too. Giza of Egypt. There's also that's the throat chakra of Earth is at Mount Giza, and there's also an
Oh.
underground civilization there living there
Oh.
underground. So yeah.
Jason, can you put the link in chat for Sal, please?
I certainly can. Give me a second.
Thank you. Okay, Sal.
All right. Just
Yeah,
a minute.
I mean, uh, for me in my time at this moment, Alex, I'm excited because I'm seeing the truth. I'm feeling the truth, and I get to speak of it as much as I know what I know. So yeah, it's a very exciting year for me. These past 6 years, going on 7 years now.
Well, seven also seven. Lucky seven for you
Mhm.
because this is the year of revealing. Yeah, and the next year is gonna be standing. The whole humanity has to stand in their power. And
Yep.
it's not coincidence. You see, numerology correlates with what's happening. It's the same with
Yeah.
the astrology based in the Vedic astrology. Then,
Yeah. Hi,
but
Sal.
because next year it
Greetings.
ends. Hey, self blessing.
So next year, what?
It ends on the Capricorn in Pluto in Capricorn. It ends. The last time that we were in Pluto Capricorn was when America had the revolution and France had their
Mhm.
French revolution. We were in Pluto in Capricorn. Now it
Mhm.
started back again in
Again. Yep.
in 2008 when America had the financial crash, right?
Right.
2008. Then is
Yep.
where it started, and it's gonna end in what?
And
2024.
yep.
So, and you see around the world, people are starting to protest their government. It's gonna get more intense because
Yeah.
everything falls. Revealing is gonna come, and everything's gonna fall, and we're gonna
Yeah.
really.
It's all falling its place where it's supposed to be, and us as people on this earth are gonna start opening more of their eyes. The truth. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
said, the truth will set you free indeed, and that's what's happening. It's setting a lot of us free from the lies and deception that we've been through.
yeah.
So yeah. Hey, Sal.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing.
I
Hey,
so
Tim.
I researched a lot about this subject. If you guys want to talk about a few of these topics that I researched, so I've been doing some treasure hunting lately, and all the treasures that I've been finding are related, sadly, to my Spanish history and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
I all this stuff too that I basically I'm collecting, showing my family, and then I'm gonna return back to the Yisaleta and the Paiute tribe that's in my family in El Paso, Texas, and stuff like that. Where there's
Mhm.
a museum there. I finally found a museum that I can actually bring this to, that they won't hide this information from. But I
Right.
got exclusive coins and relics that show that uh, this was a holy place here in America, and I could prove it. I could prove it. There's a bunch of stuff here.
Yeah.
As I was doing all these this research, it took me probably 10 or 15 years to decipher hieroglyphics that we have here in America. And a lot of the hieroglyphics, some of it is not a Native American. I found out that the Spanish had hieroglyphics that they used for hiding their gold and their treasures and stuff that they pillaged. And then before them, there was also the Jesuits that came
Yeah.
here. And then my family that came from Spain, They were basically Hebrew. During Spain's conquering, they were going to kill all the Hebrew Spanish that were in Spain back in like the 12th or 13th century, probably earlier than that. Where my family came in. They sought refuge here in America a long time ago, and then from there they settled in with the Paiute and the Isleta there, and then all that controversy happened and stuff like that, and they created missions and stuff.
Mhm.
Half my people they were initially up there, I want to say up there in the middle of America, but then got relocated down to El Paso and stuff like that, and that's where
Mhm.
that mission got made and stuff like that. But before that, uh there were talks about the Roman being here, and
Yep. Yep.
that great war that happened in the Kingdom of Castile. It was a holy war. So I don't
Mhm.
think that happened in Spain. I think that happened here
Up
because
in
I got
here.
all
Yep.
these coins and relics that were from the 13th century, the 3rd century. I got coins that were not even coins. I think back then they only used these rings, these bronze or copper looking rings and stuff like that. I have some of that here. All of this stuff was found here in America and stuff like that. It wasn't found
Yep.
anywhere else. I got coins from 300 AD that are Roman coins and stuff like that. And everyone that I talked to about all this stuff, and then the hieroglyphics were all pointing out, if you're able to decipher them and read them, uh, something huge happened here in America that happened in the sky back in they say the 1700s and stuff like that. I researched the it's called the Ten Commandment stone of
Yeah, the
Mhm.
Decalogue stone in New Mexico.
Yeah. New
yeah,
Mexico.
in
Yep.
New Mexico. It's basically telling you in ancient Hebrew and stuff like that.
Yep.
But right next to it, that no one ever deciphered, was this huge hieroglyphics that stone that was there, and that the person, the maker who made that hieroglyphics was basically deciphering a constellation that happened during the planetary alignment of Virgo. And if you look at a star map, someone did this already. I saw a video on it on YouTube, and if you guys want, I'll show you the links. Someone deciphered that star map that happened in Virgo, and it happened back in like the 16th, 17th century, saying something huge happened in the sky that brought everyone together, and it was such a huge event that he had to carve it in stone and then carve it in ancient Hebrew on the side right there on that Ten Commandment stone and stuff like that. And that was pretty significant that no one actually shared by deciphering that stone, which is pretty important.
But what happened in the sky? What a light was a light in the sky?
It was a huge planetary alignment, and they say that Virgo was basically in charge, guiding all the planets and stuff like that. And that only happened one time in our planetary history and stuff like that. So they traced back all the star maps, and they found the exact year and stuff of that. So they were able to finally decipher when all that stuff got carved in there and stuff like that. But you got to point out that it's in ancient Hebrew too, and it's written backwards and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh yeah. I don't read Hebrew. But it's backwards.
it's basically just deciphers and him talking about his God, his maker, and stuff like that, saying like, "I will not do this, I will not do that."
Yeah, and
La, like
it's the only Decalogue stone in the world.
like the word A is in the shape of a upside down A that's in the shape of a ram's head and stuff like that. It just took a while for me to decipher everything because a lot of the hieroglyphics actually tell a different story and stuff like that. Even the Native American hieroglyphics tell a different story. I've been researching Hopi and the Anasazi. The Anasazi are probably the oldest ones that I can decipher. At least that's what the Anasazi tell me. Because I speak to elders and stuff like that tell me a lot of stuff that I can't share in public, but a lot of stuff is connected with every other culture and stuff, especially the hieroglyphics and stuff like that. That's the one thing I always wanted to share about that needs to be deciphered for other people to understand too. That way we can all know our history. Little by little, as soon as we all start to decipher our history, we can
Yeah.
finally figure out what happened.
Yep.
You know? So I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
We
If you
all
got
have
any
a little.
questions, let me know.
Mm. We all have a little piece of the puzzle. And sooner or later, we have to all put that puzzle together, and that's going to be a lot of us. In other words, the ones that are waking up.
Yeah. Conjing Queen, the pyramid, the video of the pyramid in California. Can you load it up?
Okay,
The
give me a second.
Which pyramid in California? There's several of them. There's a lot of them in America. Did you see the ones underneath the Michigan Lake and stuff like that they've been researching? The Great
Michigan Lake.
Lakes? Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that lake. They call
There's
it
a
like
sphinx and
the lake of,
everything underneath there that they're not talking about and stuff like that. But uh,
yes,
they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
yes,
What I
the
was told that there was a huge holy war and everybody came together, dark and light. They were battling against the giants, the Nephilim, basically. There were some good giants, they said. There were some bad giants, but everyone from all nations and all everywhere around the world came together on a dark and light scale, trying to defeat the giants back in the day. And that's the oldest information I could find with hieroglyphics and um, stuff that I could actually speak about in public and stuff that I won't get in trouble about. that that elders tell me about and stuff like that. But
That's
they were saying,
interesting.
yeah, they were saying that there was a giant war back in the day.
Yeah, and the you mentioned the Nephilim. I know that the giants still exist. There's people that has caught them on camera, walking on mountains or just standing, watching things. What I
Some
understand
saying
that
they're waking up.
yeah, that's what I wanted to say. They're actually still here. What I understand on the ground, and they're planning a war right now. They're still alive. They're planning a war, and
That's what I heard. I
they
heard they
hate
were waking up and they got some kind of technology or they're making these weird ass caves going to the Antarctic. Basically, they said they have some kind of connection with the Antarctic to connect something that they're gonna do something bad in. That's all I keep hearing about from everybody. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, that's interesting.
yeah, I got the information. They're planning for a war, and they hate the name Jesus. They hate the name. They don't. They hate God. I put it. They're planning a war against God. They're not gonna get far, but that's what they're doing. Ugh. How you gonna plan to go against God? Like, it's stupid. But yeah, that's what I heard they're planning to do. So yeah, it correlates with what you're saying. They're what I heard, they're already awakened. Hey, Paradox Fossil, blessing.
I kind of feel that something big is gonna happen soon too. What you guys were saying earlier, you can feel it within your soul. Like, you know what, I'm here for a purpose. Something's supposed to happen. I also feel that this is my last life here, my lifetime. I'm an old soul. I've been here for a very long time. I think helping humanity and stuff like that. And I got really mad. I think last year or the last time the glitch because I felt like I glitched into a different dimension not that long ago. It happened around. Obama, something happened like really, really weird. And, I'll tell you exactly what I thought happened. A nuke came. This sounds really weird because it sounds like a dream. A nuke came, blew up everything. Everything turned into like almost a Garden of Eden. Everything like the backyard wasn't my backyard anymore. It was a forest land, and there were these blue-looking angels hovering everywhere, and they were crying, going, "We did it! We did it! We did it!" I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I'm hiding, thinking, "What the fuck is going on?" Nobody's alive. I don't know how I survived and stuff like that. And it was like an end of the world scene and stuff like that. And I saw UFOs going around collecting survivors and stuff like that. They look like the Greys that were trying to save people for some odd reason. And something huge happened here on Earth and stuff like that, where the planet and the land changed and stuff like that. And I was freaking out, and out of nowhere, a dimensional glitch happened, and I'm literally doing the same shit over again, but different. Like I remember everything that happens every second, every day. Like I've done this already, but I missed out on one key thing. I think to fix something, so I can move on, and everyone can move on. I think everyone's going through a dimensional thing that they have to fix within themselves that can help everyone else. I think I can totally feel that within myself. And then when I hear Kat explaining her story, I was like, wow, man, that's the same thing is happening to me lately. That's interesting.
Could you say you access another version of yourself where it comes down
It was
to
an
the
oversoul of myself. Like, yeah, like it was a multi-dimensional reality where like a little piece of myself helps other little dimensional selves of myself, like an oversoul, or I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like a dream. It's the best way to describe it. It's the same reality, but a different reality. And little by little, something's different. Like it got changed and fucked up. And some of us are here to make the wrong right again, I think. And then we can all move on. Sounds crazy, but I can feel that that's what's going on.
and when did this happen? You said you felt a energy shift, or
Oh, like
can
around
you?
2012, like I don't
Yeah,
know, a little bit after like Obama was
no,
around and stuff like that. That's the only thing I remember. I have nothing against Obama. I don't do politics or anything like that. My
I do.
mind is completely somewhere else.
I do have against Obama. He's corrupt motherfucker. He's a pedo too. His and his wife.
You know what else
Wife.
too?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good.
I felt like I reached a certain part of this was a long time ago. I reached a certain part of my consciousness where I found out a certain history that like I dare I say it was almost Illuminati like, where I found out a certain part of my history had these like what do you call it? We were elite things and stuff like that, and I got offered millions of dollars not to say anything and join organizations, but I told basically people to fuck off and stuff like that. And I've been speaking my truth ever since then. I lost jobs, I lost family, I lost everything. I'm basically running on crumbs right now and stuff like that compared to how I could be and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I didn't want to sell my soul. Basically, I feel that I don't know. I feel like I speak my light and I speak my truth and stuff like that. And if you don't have that, you don't have your word. You're not shit. That's just
Well,
kind of
if
how I
you
feel.
sell your soul, it has consequences for you in the spiritual realm afterwards. You know, everything has
Oh,
consequences.
I got totally blacklisted. Tracy, big time, big time. That's because I talk about things that no one wants to talk about and stuff like that. People keep to themselves. I think that's true.
Oh, sorry, Queen.
And yeah, in
Understand.
2012, there was an energy shift, so you may
Okay.
experience that. Oh yeah.
This is California.
Oh yeah, this is in California.
What part?
Just a short, just a short video. The guy's gonna talk about the pyramid in Pyramid Lake. In Pyramid Lake.
Okay, let me mute myself.
Okay.
Talk about Pyramid Lake in Los Angeles, California. Now, first and foremost, it's called Pyramid Lake because of this structure right here. We're going to talk about exactly how it got there. So, well, first we're going to tell you what they say. At first this lake was a river, but in like the 60s, they constructed this dam right here. But before that, in the 30s, like around 1933, they cut the mountain to make way for this, series of roads right here that lead into the ridge route, which eventually would lead into the highway. Now, they had to cut the mountain so they can make room for these streets. Now, here's where it starts getting fishy. They started cutting into the mountain because this mountain is basically mostly just sand. It's not hard rock. This is a relatively soft mountain. And they stopped. And when they stopped right here, they left a pyramid, basically structure in the side of the mountain. Now, they say this was done by mistake, and that's why the lake was then later called Pyramid Lake. The lake was formed in 1972 as the river just plumped up into, this huge lake. But here's the thing. They say this was formed by accident. But why on the sides are there clear, like as you can see, it would then taper off into another series of ridges from the side of the pyramid. right? So it's almost like this is a ancient pyramid. Now let me show you something else. This is not the only part where they cut the mountain. They also cut the mountain right here to make this parking lot, right? Now, as you can see, when they cut the mountain right here, there is no pyramid. There's no pyramid right here either. No pyramid. No pyramid. So it's not, we can't blame the machinery for leaving a pyramid-like imprint on the side of the mountain. I mean, in 1933, what machinery did they have that would, just leave pyramid-like, imprints on the mountain? And on top of that, why is there no pyramid? Why is there no pyramid imprints on the side of this mountain? Why is there no consistency if they form the exact same way? And also, what's the point of leaving it in the pyramid-like structure? That would actually be, vain. That would have no reason. So here's the thing: pyramid rock, which is what this is called, pyramid rock, had to have already been here for thousands of years. What appeared to have happened is they started to cut into the mountain, which was just piled up sand, and they dug until they hit this, and then they stopped. That's literally what it looks like. And when you look at it from ground view, it looks like a perfect pyramid from ancient times. If you see it, that's what your immediate thought would be. Is you wouldn't think it was something formed by some construction company in the 1930s. You would think that this is something that you would see in Saqqara, Egypt. You would think this is something that you would see in Mesoamerica. They don't want you to know that this southern part of California was a part of a Hamitic civilization that built pyramids and temples and all this other stuff. They don't want you to understand that. So they're going to just say that this was constructed by a construction company so it can make way for this dam, apparently. But it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that was it.
Dude,
That was,
I got so much information to share with you guys about that. I'm not gonna tell you what tribal leader told me this, because he told me basically to keep his tribe and him out of it. But every single, and I mean every single one here in America, every single dam is a cover up of an ancient civilization that they're trying to cover up from society. Research that. Every single one of them, no matter what it is. He pointed it out after the 20th one. I was like, okay, you got something there. That's weird. He's like, yeah, they're trying to hide something here, and he just kept on telling me, research that, and you'll get some answers that you're looking for.
okay.
Every dam, they were covering something. If they're making a dam, or if there's one already there, they're hiding something of great significance that was a part of the land before, that they don't want to show the public to.
What is it? Well, with this one that I see was a pyramid structure, so I'm pretty sure there's more pyramid under the sand. Oh yeah, mostly will be hiding a civilization that was there, at advanced civilization that was there prior to the Columbus time. I put it that way.
That looked beforehand. That might be something that was here in Southern California. A lot of the tribes here, because I live right here in Louisiana, Pachanga, basically in Temecula. Like I'm in tribal land right now. I just don't tell people that. And here we talk about the ancient land and stuff like that. And the ancient land here, because the tribe here, they tell me that they were like the first people here and stuff like that, and they represent this thing called a white pyramid. So that's why I was like, oh man, I got a lot to share about these ancient sites. And then if you look at the huge hieroglyphics that are right there in between Southern California and Arizona, you can only see them in a helicopter or a plane and stuff. They're huge human-like, where they put rocks and stuff like that, and they're you can only see them from above and stuff like that. Every single tribe says that was there from before us and stuff, and that might be connected to the Aztecs and stuff like that. And a lot of that were connected with pyramid structures and stuff like that. It's very interesting. It's right there where that dam is, I think, too. So
In California, the
in
Aztec.
Cal- all the well, it's let me try to look it up right now. Actually, that way I can get a good name for it. There are huge hieroglyphics that are in the middle of Southern California and Arizona. You can only see them by air. Let me
Oh,
ask
okay.
Google really quick.
Oh yeah, the video we play in the beginning was about the the Rocky Mountain, the Grand Canyon, the
Right.
Egyptian artifact in the Grand Canyon.
This is one of the hieroglyphics right there.
Where is that?
You can only see this above. This is the border in between California and Arizona.
Oh, so between Arizona, like for example, with Peru, the Nazca lines, you can only see them from above. So
Yeah,
you
well,
see,
when everybody asks, they go to the tribes there and they ask, they say that our people didn't make this. This was here pre our time or Aztec time. No one really knows who made those hieroglyphics. Everyone's saying no. So I'm trying to research where that is connected and stuff because that's just one out of probably like a couple hundred that are scattered in that area right there that also have ancient hieroglyphics connected to I want to say Egyptian hieroglyphs because it's very interesting. I'll take pictures about it later because I live here in Southern California, so I'm not that far away. Maybe 70 miles away.
oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that they had like Nazca lines there, what they call Nazca lines, but in Peru, you also have like a giant like animal figure on the ground. But
That was just one that I showed of that's just human and stuff like that. Let me show you more. They're animals, they're you name it, that are all right there, that are right there that most people don't even talk about. It's right there in Southern California and Arizona. But
yeah,
a lot of our people back in the day got mixed up and stuff like that when it came to their land and stuff like that. So we have to do like a deep research to figure out which tribe represented that tribe, and then even the talks before the people that were there and stuff like that. Because when I talked to a lot of my um, the Hopi always talk about how they're connected to the Anasazi. All tribes are connected in that area too, but they all talk about having wars with each other back in the day before white man came and stuff like that. And there's only so
mm,
much I could talk about that without being disrespectful and stuff like that and sharing too much information that's kept private.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Well, I know that is that in this time right now, I am so happy and blessed that I'm seeing what is being unfold in front of me of the true truth of this land, all America. It's a pleasure. It's a blessing. I'm grateful and honored to take this for my grandfather to give out info that I know, and it's
yeah,
coming. Everything's coming together.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everything from the native too is gonna come to the surface. All
Can
of
I
this.
can I share to you guys this really weird story since we were talking about that glitch that happened in like 2012? I didn't
Mm.
explain everything that happened around there.
Okay.
Uh, I had a UFO experience. That's all. I don't even think it was a UFO experience. Now that I'm researching it, I saw these balls of light come out of in between the ocean of Oceanside and Catalina. I researched later that that could be possibly an underground UFO base, or it could be an ancient civilization base or ruins and stuff like that. That's what I'm assuming. And these balls of light came out, and I'm not the only one that saw this. The whole neighborhood saw this, and they all came out, and they were like, "What the heck is this?" Everyone started taking
Mm.
pictures and
Yeah.
videos. No one could record it. This one person down the street was able to record it, and I was able to save that video, and I shared it on my YouTube and stuff. It's called Temecula UFOs. If you guys wanted to check that out, and there were these balls of lights that were they look an orange white, and they would pulsate and they would multiply, go against the wind, but they would pulsate these multiple colors. one of them came down and like merged with me, and when it merged with me, it felt like I got my soul back. That was the only way to explain it. At that time, my life and my soul was in complete chaos. I just wanted to leave this planet. I wasn't. I was disconnected. I was lost. And when this thing merged with me, all this advanced information and all like I don't know shit about mathematics, but if you ask me stuff about vortex-based mathematics, I could probably build you a spaceship and stuff like that. Weird shit like that. I don't know. Something huge happened to me after that. Like huge. Like I said, I got exiled from everything. I lost my family, I lost my job, I lost the house, I lost everything that I got outcast by everything. I just kind of had to start life over again. But I felt like I had a soul. I don't know, that's the only way to describe it. Before then, I felt like I was just lost, walking around this planet with no soul. Best way to describe it. I don't know if like anyone else has ever had an encounter like that, but I have. And I got a video that shows that on my YouTube. Someone recorded it from like 2 or 10 blocks away. They were able to record the whole thing where these lights were above my house and stuff. And one of them came down and that was it. And they were talking about it like it was a joke, but I was just like, oh, you recorded it. You know what I mean? The whole neighborhood saw it and kind of demonized me and said I was like the devil. No one talked to me and stuff like that. They were just like, oh, get away from that guy and stuff like that. So I had to move. Yeah, I've moved several times since then. I had to move again pretty soon. So, yeah, that's my weird story.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I don't like sharing that story either because it literally makes me look like I'm a crazy person and it kind of demonizes me. So I usually just keep that to myself.
It's not crazy. I think that was your star brother and sister and bringing you back that you were lost. And
you know what was weird? I was crying out the window when that happened, going, if I have Star Family out there, please tell me right now. I literally asked for that. I was like, if there are Star Family out there, please. I was crying because I think I was going to kill myself. I was literally like at the end of my ropes. I had nothing to live for anymore. I was dying from kidney failure and stuff at the time. So I was in a dark place at the time. And that saved me. Ever since then, I was just like, I saw the light of things and it was just so positive and I was sharing good vibes and everything ever since then. I smoke a lot of pot now. I gave up cigarettes and alcohol and everything. I stay pure and I just share knowledge of anything I can possibly, what I think is knowledge. And if it's questionable, I ask people to question that knowledge so I can know if it's true or not. That's it.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Alex, do you have anything else to show? Alex, didn't you have something else to show?
Oh yeah, Conjuring Queen. The next one would be. Let me get the last one. The one of huge pyramid in Mount Hood in southern Illinois, over thousands of years ago. That one.
I'll tell you a lot about that place too. I did research about that place.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, just what you were saying on comment on your experience. Yes, I think that was your star brother and sister bringing you back to yourself because you were lost, you were not grounded. And yeah, it let show you things, guide you, to things they need to do, bring you back on your path.
I think they were just showing me that I wasn't alone because I really truly thought I was just a lost soul.
Jason? Jason, you were gonna say something. I'm sorry, guys. What were you gonna say, Jay?
There used to be a playlist on a channel called New Earth, and it was thousands of hours of testimonials from people who have had near-death experiences, people who had undergone hypnosis and recalled past lives, and their time in between lives on this earth. And a lot of what Sal was saying earlier is confirmed by these people's stories, living in different times, or as he described it, dimensions, different selves, and guided by your actual true self. So I didn't find any of that crazy.
It was me, but it wasn't me. Like I could tell you exactly who it was. It was a baby version of me. I sat there and had the most longest connection with a baby version of me. I never told anybody what that light was that came down and merged with me. I told everybody like I got my soul back, but it was a baby version of me that hung out for a whole entire week. And then after the end of the week, he was basically telling me that he had to go and he couldn't hang out anymore. And that was the only like light and love that I ever had ever in my life. And I was crying, going, why are you leaving? You're the only thing that ever made me feel happy. And he was just like, I gotta go, but I'll always be here. And I'm like, what do you mean you'll always be here? I am you. You are me. You know what I mean? I'm eventually going to become you. I'm like, I never got that. Either it was my soul that became me, or it was maybe my son visiting me before he was born. Because I got a son that looks exactly like me. That's like a little baby version of me. So maybe it was my son. I don't know. So it was an interesting experience that happened. But yeah, I still get all tearful every time I talk about that little that little
None of
ending.
that sounds crazy to me anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in the Mayan they say in la cash. I mean you, I am you are
Mhm.
in la cash. But I
You
did
said you
have
had a video though, Alex, and that video, I'd done probably like 15 years of research of there's a cave called Lubbock Cave. They found what was known as the Alexander the Great and a bunch of other people from Egyptian times that had tombs and gold and silver treasures. They had carved stones of what were aliens, chicken aliens, reptilian aliens. I think I've explained this before, but we definitely got to see that video that I think you said you had. I think that's the video.
oh no, the one they're gonna show is talk about the ancient civilization that was in pre-Columbian time that had a step pyramid builder still visible in Illinois.
The cave that I'm talking about is in Illinois, and the stuff that was found in that cave was found pre any time. That's what I'm saying. They for some reason they said they have Egyptian stuff that was in this cave. If I can find the video, they have hours and hours of all the artifacts that were found in that cave, and they took pictures and everything. That's what I'm saying. These were carved stone-looking stones that had glyphs on them of these chicken aliens, reptilian aliens. For some reason, there were Roman people from Alexander the Great were in there, and in civilizations before that and stuff like that. There were Egyptian stuff in there, gold stuff, and yeah, it was in the same area though. Is what I'm trying to say. Something was in that area in Illinois.
And
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's something for to look into. No, I haven't looked into that part. This is the first time I'm hearing that part with the underground cave. I know there's a lot of underground places there, you know. It's full America actually. There's ancient caverns there, deep
Oh, the
underground.
cave got pillaged and stuff like that, but a lot of people took pictures of the relics and the stones that were basically being sold in the black market and stuff. It was a really sad story about what happened to that cave, but I'm pretty sure that cave was called Lubbock Cave. That was from Illinois. You just look up the Illinois cave of Alexander the Great, and I'm pretty sure you'll pop up to the links of exactly what I'm talking about. And the guy will talk about what was in that cave, but the whole time he's talking about it, they're showing pictures of the stuff that was in the cave that was just truly wow, like wow. You know,
Okay.
it's definitely a good one to research.
Yeah, I would look into that for sure. Queen, do you have the other video
Oh,
ready?
I'm waiting for you guys. No, it's me.
Oh, okay.
You guys are chatting.
Lol.
Sorry.
Oh
Can
yeah.
you click? Well,
Oh no,
okay.
it's off screen.
Yeah, no, let me see if it works now. Nope. Hold
Technical difficulties.
on, stand by. No,
Oftentimes, they
it'll
want to
work.
start off
It's okay.
teaching the kids that in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and he was the first one to discover the Americas. They do
Okay.
say that there were Indian tribes here at that point, but they don't go into detail about the history of those tribes or the history of America before that. What is very interesting is we have discovered there are many different cities that were all across the United States. One of them sitting in current eastern St. Louis, in
Mhm.
East St. Louis. This is in southern Illinois. And it was a sprawling complex that had massive pyramids, mounds, and over 30,000 people at its time. It was the largest pre-Columbian city in North America then, and it was bigger than London or Paris at the time. To put things into perspective, you think about London and Paris, the people, the age, how long it's been there, the history, but yet a place like this that had a larger population than both those cities has been removed from history. They do not teach it. You have to go looking to find the information. It's not what you're going to find in school. But these places are all across the United States. This one being a massive one. Now, if you were to go to St. Louis today, you would not see, obviously, the complex looking like this with its walls. But this one spot here with the staircase can still be seen, believe it or not. And here it is. What else lies there? Now, they are excavating. They are finding all types of stuff, pottery, things of that nature, and who knows what else. And we've talked about the mounds themselves before, some being in Ohio, others that they've dug up in the past have had large individuals, 8 foot tall, some would reference giants inside of them. In other mounds, they will not let you go digging in. They say, oh, it's a UNISEC protected place. Only we can dig there. But yet, in some of these places, they are not digging there whatsoever. They're just leaving it sit. Therefore, no one gaining any knowledge as to what was really going on there. But you see this time and time again when it comes to history. Anyone that digs something up or finds something amazing, the Smithsonian comes in, grabs it, wisps it away, tucks it away in a vault somewhere, never to be seen again, and no one's ever taught about it. But there's hidden history right here in the United States of America, telling you in some of you's very backyard. But this is just one of many, but this was a massive one, and then at its time, the biggest. And a massive complex with pyramids, mounds, and everything else. And for a city that was bigger than Paris and London, it has to raise questions as to what happened and all of that. Where did all the people go? Why did it fall? Why is places like, Paris today still thriving in this missing from the history books that they're teaching in school? Rather interesting, I thought. I will leave a link. Make sure you're following me over on Dabu777 as well as on Twitter. I'll leave links below. Much love, y'all.
Yeah.
It's a good video.
Yeah, there was a short one explaining the one in they call it the Kohatia pyramid. Kohatia pyramid is a step pyramid. But yeah, it seems like there was a whole civilization built around it. That they didn't say.
I've
Oh, yeah,
heard of a hidden Aztecian temple that was in Manhattan in New York. If you guys want to research that one, it's underneath the park basically, and there's an entrance there. I'm not supposed to talk about it, but there's an Aztec temple basically that's been there since ancient times underneath Manhattan. Big old square looking park and stuff like that, but it's not really a park. There's something underneath the park. That's something that needs to be researched. So if anyone's out there listening.
the park. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's access to it, I heard. That there's a door that goes down there. I don't know what's down there and stuff like that. But For all I know, this cannot be true, but most of this stuff I've led down that rabbit hole ended up being something. They're saying it's Aztec though, which is very weird to find in East Coast. But back then everybody was kind of connected to everyone, and there were no borders and stuff like that. There were wars going on and stuff like that, but in the same time, everybody was connected to everyone in one way or another. We just been separated by lies and
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Because
why the
it,
truth is coming out.
Hmm.
yeah,
It has
yeah,
to come out sooner or later, and now it is. Everything's been exposed. The truth is bringing it out into the light now is both spirituality and government, evil and light. Everything's coming out.
It looks like they're already starting to cover it up because did a search on pyramid under Manhattan,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
they're actually built a modern pyramid in Manhattan, and that's where all the links go to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I keep hearing all the time that there are ruins underneath Manhattan, stuff like that. And
There is.
what I was told originally, it was in the shape of a keyhole, and the keyhole is also connected in many other cultures everywhere around the world, where there's a shape of a keyhole where allegedly up in the stars, someone's supposed to come open up that certain keyhole for something to either give us knowledge or to
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
something. I still don't know what
You
this
want me to
keyhole is
tell
about.
you? You want
Please
me
tell
to
me.
tell you what's about?
Yes.
I'm glad you brought it up because it was in my mind just now. Hold on, I'm eating something. I haven't ate dinner.
No worries.
The head of New York is the head of the snake. So what's coming from the New York is the snake, the evil one. The seed is right there. When that happens, New York won't be no longer New York because the head will come off. That is the seed of evil, which is so-calledly the Antichrist. It will rise there, not where they say in Israel. This is why I'm saying it's all connected here.
That makes sense, because all these places that I saw that are connected to where this keyhole were also had connections of serpent worship and dragons and stuff like that from ancient times and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So that
All,
has
all this is what I've been shown already these past 6 years. What's going to happen in New York, what's going to happen in California, what's going to happen in the middle of the snake, the body of the snake. If you look at New York and you go all the way down to the Pacific, the East Coast, and all the way down to the middle is Washington, D.C. Then you keep going, you go to the tail, which is Washington State. But California is the main part. All that is going to be destroyed. But for the snake to be destroyed, has to be the head, which is New York. And if you look at New York, all of them, you have the Statue of Liberty, which is demonic. You have the United Nations is demonic. You have all the sacrificing children, demonic. You have all this stuff around. They have Bob now in there. And then where the 9/11 came down, they built the building all satanic inside. So yeah, that is the head of the snake, which it will come, and it's coming sooner than everybody don't even think. But it is coming, and when that happens, then this is when we will enter to the fifth world. But right now, everyone is focusing in over there, the third temple, and in Israel. When it's reality, it's going to be here. That I know by the Spirit. And I've been right 100% what I say all the time.
no. I 100% believe this, because I heard the story has been told dimensionally so many times. I heard it all started in Africa, and we all messed up in Africa, and then it dimensionally went over here, and I hear that it's our turn here for something big is gonna happen. So like what you're saying, I kind of feel that to be true, to be honest.
Now, if you do some research underneath the White House, which is called, right, we have Capitol Hill, right? Now, if you do the research on it, on that hill, there's how many hills? I forgot. I think it's 7.
7.
And there's a name of it though. What was it, Jason? Those hills? Something, it's a very sacred place.
It
And
was
on
the
top,
there were 7 hills in Rome.
hmm
Yeah,
but
and they got 7 hills in Washington D.C.
yeah.
What we uncovered.
And this is what I'm going to tell you now too, since it's bringing it up with those hills. That's where Jesus was crucified. That's why the White House is built on that land where Christ was crucified at. Understand what I'm saying? It's all a big old thing that they have planned for a long time for us to believe in Israel, Middle East, when in reality it's all here. But yeah, there's a big
I'm
picture
wondering
coming.
how they did this reset. You know what I mean? I know that there was a huge mud flood. I remember hearing when I did research about the moon was placed here a long time ago. I looked in Victorian times. They literally made paintings about the moon being placed there, and a huge flood happened because the moon was gravitationally connected to all the water and female menstrual cycles, which is I think is very weird too. That's why
Hmm
the moon is considered a moon goddess of all cultures. Every culture has a moon goddess that's connected to the moon and stuff like that.
Yeah. This is why, I mean, this is why it's very important that we start opening our really mind in the spiritual realm, because we we need to be waking up more in the spiritual realm than in the flesh, to be honest, or physical. It's the spiritual realm that you need to open up to it, to understand what's going on. Because without the spiritual in you, you are confused. You don't know what the blank's going on. But when you have that spiritual in you, you know what's going on. You see it in front of you, the truth. See, and you don't get mixed up with the lies when you see the truth. But when you're not with the spiritual realm, you see the flesh, people wise, are telling you this is what's going on. And you believe them because you're going by your flesh. And there's a difference between flesh and spiritual. And we can't connect, go with fun. You need both, right? But
Yeah,
mostly you need the spiritual realm, because that's your guidance, that's your light, that's your truth, that's your path of the righteousness, I'm going to say.
you're
Yeah.
100% correct. You know what I call that?
What's that?
Your free will illusions. Everyone has free will to do whatever
Yeah.
they please. As soon as they
Yeah.
get lost in that free will, you start creating illusions, and you get lost in those illusions, thinking they're real, but they're not
Yeah.
real because they're illusions because you put the energy to think they were real.
Yeah.
And, eventually those illusions get popped and stuff like that. So it's good that you
Yeah.
brought that up. Free will illusion.
That's why it's so important to have that spiritual, that balance. It's a balance. Without it, it's like me. If I didn't have it in the spiritual realm in me, thank God I do. But if I did, you know what I would be doing? I'll be lost in this world, to be honest. I would be like going here, going there, going crazy. Even though I think I'm crazy already, but you know what I mean. But but anyways, but I thank God, grandfather, that I have that in me. And we all have it. We just don't know how to use it or ask for it or believe, have faith in it that you have it so you can use it. Because it's a gift. We all have it.
There was a huge mud flood that happened that history doesn't talk about that happened in Southern America. In El
Mm.
Paso, Texas, when I was I worked for downtown doing tourism and stuff like that, and I would have I would walk around with people who taught me who were the people who made the buildings back in the 1800s and stuff like that, in the 1600s and or not 1600s, the 1700s and stuff like that in El Paso,
Mhm.
Texas,
Mhm.
and I got to know all the history that happened there, and then I started digging deep, like literally deep. I found out that there are 2 levels, literally 2-story levels underneath El Paso, Texas. That what happened in 1860? There was a huge mud flood that happened that covered everything, and the buildings up in downtown are hundreds of feet up in the air. They're skyscrapers, and they got covered up and everything. They have pictures of everything of this happening, but they don't tell the story of how they got the mud away and what happened or what caused it. And then the more I researched this mud flood that happened in 1860, everything got covered up. And there was a whole red brick society that happened previously before then that were connected to Tartarians and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But when I started researching Tartarians, it researched all the way back to this Mongolian queen who was connecting ether energy to basically I started doing this. I'm a grower, so I grow everything from trees to plants and stuff. I started researching electroculture. This electroculture is Tartarian technology that connects to that same technology, that where you hook up a copper antenna with some iron, and your plants grow 300%
Uh-huh.
bigger and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Just the same stuff. If the plants can do that, so can we. I believe
Right.
They're-
Right.
they're- that might be a glitch that we don't know about in history that maybe started creating giants and stuff like that. Because this technology is supposed to make everything 300% bigger, fruits,
Hmm.
vegetables, and possibly animals, since we're no different than the plants and stuff when it comes to what's inside the plants, like microbes and the same nutrients and all that stuff. Interesting concept.
Yeah. But like I said, you to have that balance, we all need that balance, right, in our lives. And that balance is also called your spirituality life. Because without it, you're total lost. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. You're lost. That light in you. And for you to have that light and to help others. For instance, when I'm walking down to the store or whatever, people look at me, what they see is the glow, the light, but it's not me. What they're seeing is the light of grandfather. And that is what we have in us. We just got to bring it out so others can see the light in you. And that's in the spirituality realm. But there is a lot of truth coming out this year, like Alex said, and it's going to be a lot of spirituality revealed.
Never mind, I'm on mute. Now I unmute myself. Yes, there's a lot that's gonna come out. It's already starting actually.
Right.
Some things are gonna go to the mainstream. I don't know when. Some countries maybe it's gonna block it out. But like right now in France, you can say the French Revolution is happening right now in France. It's already started. People
Oh
there
wow.
are fed up. Yeah, the people
Mhm.
there are they're going all out on the street. There's a lot of shit happening there. You should look into it. France. Yeah, France is going through a big change right now. And what's happening in France, I think is gonna go through US and Brazil too, because the election in Brazil was clearly hacked and the people there has, you can say, woken up to the
Yeah.
corruption there. So and yeah, and they taunted Jesus too in their carnival and the devil and shit, all of that. And they got there was consequences over that. You know, everything
Mm.
has a consequence. And they got flooded. There's few people that passed the transition due to that. There was a warning for them. So
Yeah.
yeah, this yeah.
We are getting warnings what's coming. Again, you gotta open up a little. Look around
Oh yeah,
you.
oh yeah, the truth is gonna come out. We're in a 7 year.
Yeah.
This is high spiritual year, high
Yeah.
energetic year.
The
So
number 7.
yeah, the 7. That's a spiritual number.
I
And
found that UFO video I was talking about that was above my house, that experience I had that someone down the block recorded. I'll mute myself, but I'll show you guys that video on my cell phone here if you guys want
all
to see
right,
it.
yeah, I will want to see it. Let's see. 'Cause, yeah, 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 Oh, damn. Now I see it. There's many. There's many. Yeah. It seems like this from a craft, one craft. That's interesting one there. Many like.
Yeah, true, Kimba. Just be yourself. Be who you are.
Like 12 of them.
Yeah. They're orange, all right. Interesting. I had a UFO experience with an orb too, but it was light blue. Someone seemed I wanted to know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these were like an orange yellow, but they pulsated like a green, blue, a red, like all these different colors, but they were pulsating. And every time they pulsated, they would create like an atomic donut blast around them, and they would multiply into another one and stuff. But they all formed into this weird looking UFO shape and stuff like that. And one just kind of came down and stuff, and it came down to me, and like that was the best way to describe it. I don't know what happened after that. Like I just felt memories being downloaded into me. It's the best way to describe it.
To see that download, yeah, or something in you being activated. That's also they activated something in you.
Yeah.
I had also experience like not like with you coming down. I just wanted to know if they're out there, my star brother and sister, and they showed up. It
I don't
showed
think
me.
these were UFOs. No, now that I do my more research, because these things didn't come out of the sky. They can't. Like I said, I have a view. I live in Temecula, but like if you look at a certain angle of Temecula, you can see Oceanside all the way to the ocean and stuff. I can see Oceanside and Catalina. These things popped out of the ocean and like in a big line, and they came straight to like on top of my house basically. And I was able to see that whole encounter. Like, whoa, what is that? You know what I mean? Like I was freaking out and stuff like that, but I was kind of
Oh,
shocked and stuff. But they came out of the water and stuff. And then when I did research on that exact location, I was told that that was like an ancient alien sub base that they have underneath the ocean and stuff. And I don't think that was an alien base. I think that was some kind of like an ancient civilization because you see these pillars. It looks like an ancient a, an
I
ancient
saw.
building of some sorts underneath the
I
ocean.
saw. Yeah, I saw this. They created that image with a sonar, and you see the pillars under the water. Yeah, with the entrance in it. That's in the front of the coast of California. Yeah, could be. It could be an ancient civilization there. Yeah, I saw that.
Hey Trace, it was a pulse. It wasn't a flash or a blink. These orbs would sit there and do like a pulse, and it did like a donut energy around it, and it would multiply. It was really weird, and they would fly against the wind. And they no joke, they were the size of softballs and looked just like Chinese lanterns. I'm not gonna lie, they did look like that, but they were a big pulse of energy. It wasn't even a UFO or anything. They were just big balls of energy. That was the best way to describe them. They weren't anything that was like, but they all came together into a formation that looked like a UFO. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yep.
Have you seen a UFO, Cat?
Huh?
Have you seen a UFO in your life? Or
In my
spaceship?
dream?
Or
I seen
in
it
your
in my
dream?
dream. Right by my okay. I live on the let me see, I'm going down this way. I live on the right side of the road. So if facing what is it? North, it was on my east side when I saw it. And I in my dream woke up and I saw the flight, I mean very near my window. So yeah, I've seen it. They do exist and it felt weird. That's all. That's all I could say. It felt weird. I didn't go in it. I saw somebody go in. Like it was a little girl. I just couldn't see who she was. But it was bright and yeah, they do exist. I don't mess around with the UFO stories because it is true. They do exist, and I seen it. I just don't tell people I see it because, like I said, they might say I'm crazy. But yes, I did see it in my dream, and it was right there one night and woke me up. And and I saw it. I was even afraid. I was like, "Am I seeing?" And I tried to get out of my sleep, but I couldn't. It was like it was just there. But yeah, I have.
That's also interesting. They
That's
can
in
like
the and this is in the 2000s. It wasn't that long.
You
Like the
saw a
early
girl
2000s.
though. What if it was your oversoul, like what I saw? What if it was a version of you but little?
I don't know. She had like a dark brown hair. She was like about 7, 8. Yeah, somewhere around there.
There are people getting hybrid visits too. Some people have hybrid versions of like they get their genetics taken and they. This is the gray story of that people are telling, where they
Right.
get their genetics taken and they create these hybrids of the grays and humans, and the babies of those hybrids come and visit their parents and stuff like that. Just throwing
Yeah,
that out there.
yeah. I know. It's weird, but yeah. And before I thought it was just me when I saw it, but a couple of years later, 2 or 3 years later, a lady came out on the news and she used to hike South Mountains up in Phoenix, South Phoenix. And she always went jogging, hiking and all, and she got so tired she sat on a rock, and she got so interested in going into this cave. She went in the cave and they were there. The Greys were there and with somebody else. And they got her and they put her laying, and by empath, they were, you know, talking to her, I guess. She couldn't move, she said. She couldn't do nothing. She tried to scream, she couldn't. And she said all she remembers that she got out and she was in her car and she remembers everything. So she went home, she called her friend, she was taking a shower, and she said that they did something to her at that time. But she says she will never go back up there. And up in South Mountain, up there are a lot of caves in there. I don't go there, hell no. Too many people die from there up coming down back home. And it's really bad up there. So when she said that, I believe her right away because she was like really frightened when she was telling what was going on. And she goes, and I will never forget it. Never.
You just told a story that like gave me chills because I was just told a story by an elder in Arizona that told me basically the same story, but told me in vivid detail what happened. I forgot
Mhm.
what mountain they told me. They're like, this happened in Arizona, and the story was uh, every now and then during a certain time in the nighttime. I think it was either like 11:30, 12, maybe 1. It was something like that around a certain time. A
Mhm.
light would turn on in the mountain, and when that light, it was like a portal light would pop up. The gray aliens are multidimensional. He explained it perfectly well. They pop out of the mountain and stuff like that through
Yeah.
this light, and uh, this guy told a couple of people this story and stuff like that, and then the story started getting popular, and then the guy ended up becoming missing. I forgot what the guy's name was
Mhm.
and stuff, but the guy got popular. His story got told a couple times on YouTube and a couple of other places.
Right.
But I've had an elder tell me the story of this guy and stuff like that, and he says that something happened, like either it was the men in white or the men in black or something like that came and
Mhm.
took him away because he was telling too much about a portal that would open up at a certain time, and everyone would sit there and look up there too, and sure enough, you would see
But
things
it's
come in and out of the
but
mountain.
see but it is true because a lot of times here up where I was talking about South Phoenix Mountain,
Hmm.
there's always red lights around it. And people sees it all the time in the news. Of course, the media will deny it. Oh, it was just so. But no, we all know that there are UFOs at that mountain for some reason, constantly there at night. Like I could probably be there and outside probably might see them. I don't know. But they have been on the news and they have denied it that it's been a UFO sighting there. And I know there is. Sedona is also another sighting of UFOs to be there as well.
This was on Superstitious Mountain, I believe.
Yeah.
What I remember that I'm talking about.
In
Yeah.
Arizona?
Yeah.
Where that story took place, and there's a light that comes on at a certain time on the mountain. You just have to look for that light. Yeah.
Yeah, that's South Mountain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find the video. I'll find the video again, and I'll send you guys the links because it'll be stuck in my head now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the name of the mountain.
Mystery Mountain.
Yep. It's a
These
very
are these stories I got from my my treasure hunting friends and stuff like that. I got people that have metal detectors and they have these little organizations. They're the ones that know all about the hieroglyphics and stuff that spent years and years learning. That's where I ask them certain questions like, "Hey, do you know what this means?" Or "Did you hear about this story?" Or or shoot the shit about whatever. You know what I mean? I'll pick their brains and try to figure out some knowledge and stuff that they have learned over the years. And these are all old timer people and stuff like that. So. Like I've been doing that probably for like 15, 20 years when I lived in all over Arizona, New Mexico, and El Paso, Texas area. That's where I was born, in El Paso.
Yeah.
I'm in Temecula, California right now.
Yep. That mountain's very yeah. It's a dangerous mountain to be there. That's where everybody used to party at until weird stuff started to happen up there. And so now they can't go up there much and drink anymore.
You ever went there to party or went there?
I used to go with my family. Oh yeah. I didn't like it. I hate heights. And my dad used to drive up there. But no. Especially at night, nah, I will never go up there.
I've been there drinking too.
Oh no.
Never again. I quit drinking, so it's a different experience for me now.
Yeah, not if you pay me $1 million, I will not go up there. I don't care.
I truly feel that drinking invokes spirits. That's why they call it spirits.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that now. I totally
because
do.
a lot of people have died coming down from there, and their spirits are hanging there. They're still there, around there. No, that's why they call it Superstition Mountain. But yeah, that's where they're all always. You can see those lights there constantly at night.
You remember which color it is? Sorry, you know which color it is?
Red. It was red.
Red.
It wasn't white. It wasn't yellow. It was red lights. That's why they said it wasn't, but it was circles. There was like 3. And so when people start to video it, everything, it's like they denied it on the freaking media. With proof, people had proof about it, and they still denied it. So yeah, they hide things there. There's something there in that mountain that they don't want people to know either.
I've seen the same lights in El Paso. There's these mountains there called the Franklin Mountains, and we get lightning all the time in a certain part of that mountain when there's no clouds in the sky or nothing. It's just you see the lightning strike, and I used to go there all the time to collect. The lightning would strike the sand and create, I don't know what it's called. They would create these weird looking shapes that look just like lightning, but it turned the lightning into glass. I would collect that stuff and make little bonsai trees out of it and stuff like that. I forgot what it was called, but someone told me that there was a name for that, and I would just collect it all the time because I would watch the lightning with no clouds. There's no clouds, just create these little designs and stuff like that. And this is right down the way. That's very close to this place called the Zone of Silence that I would visit all the time too. And I was told not to talk about the Zone of Silence, but I'll tell you guys a little bit about it. In the Zone of Silence, that the Mexican part that's in Mexico of the Zone of Silence, there's a certain mountain there that has what we call the white Indians. They're Native Americans that are completely blonde hair, blue eyes. Some of them have red goatees and their red hair and stuff like that. And they have been there since ancient times. But way before that, they're kept hidden there on purpose. And eventually they're going to have a purpose to come back here, is what I'm told. Yeah.
I see everything, and it's a camera.
Like I've visited these people before too. I've been there before, and nothing works when you go and visit this area that they're at. The your phone doesn't work, electricity doesn't work, the
Right.
cars just turn off and die, and that's the reason why they call it the zone of silence. Nothing works there and stuff.
Yeah.
Compasses go in circle and stuff like that. It's a very weird place on the planet. It's very interesting. But yeah, it's in a certain part in Chihuahua. In Juarez.
In Juarez?
In Juarez, yeah, I've been there. Like well, during the '90s, I lived in Juarez there, and around that time, it was the craziest time in the world. They called it Little Baghdad because it was like there was a lot of people dying. The cartels were killing everybody and stuff like that. And it was a very scary place to live there at the time. And at that
It
time,
still is.
it still is, but it was really, really bad. It was really bad back in the '90s and stuff like that. It was
But
really
now it's
bad.
triple worse.
Yeah,
Really bad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
never.
yeah.
Juarez
Yeah.
is really, really hot seat right now with the cartels.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
I
damn.
don't go to Juarez. I will never go back to Juarez. Hell no.
I lived
Wh-
there like
oh,
at that time. I was living at
oh,
my aunt's house that had a corner shop right in the main like the main bust of downtown there and stuff. And it was scary at the time. Like I had to go and make sure I was at home before nighttime because at nighttime everything was like different. Everything turned into like a red light district and it was really evil. I want to say that like it was very negative. So like I had to stay inside during most of the times because I was an outsider and stuff like that, and I would have been taken hostage for money and ransom. They told me, so I
Yeah.
would literally have to stay around where my family was.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Alex? I'm sorry.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, were you born? Yeah, Kessler, were you born in Mexico or in the U.S.?
No, the United States, Arizona. My
Oh, okay.
parents are from over there. My dad's from Piedras Negras, Coahuila. My mom's from Sonora. The roots,
Okay.
well, are from Mexico, Spain. But no, I was born and raised here.
Oh, okay.
I will not deny my roots though, my heritage. I will not never deny who I am.
Never. I say the same thing because I got a lot of Native American friends that live all here in Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California. They basically got created the same way we got created. As if you
Right.
want to know what a Mexican is literally native and Spanish blood that got created
Right.
into what they call Mexican and stuff like that. There's
Right.
so many different terms or names for it, but in my area where I grew up, it was the same thing in El Paso and stuff like that. You had culturally kind of almost had to choose sides. They would either call you to be a part of Mexican culture, or they would call you an Indio. I don't even know if that's an ignorant bad term for it, but that's exactly what they called in Texas in term. I obviously never got close to my Mexican heritage mostly, and I got connected with tribes. Everyone else in my family basically were like hardcore Spanish Mexican, so I'm the oddball in my whole entire family.
Well,
So
to be honest, any shouldn't be called Indios for one.
I agree.
Because Indians, comes from the word in India. That's what they
Mhm.
are called. Why call natives a word? In other words, it's in our forehead. They call me a Latina, whatever you want, a Mexicana, whatever you want to call me. They put it in our foreheads. So we were taught to teach our children and their children, of course, to tell the tribes Indians when the reality they're indigenas, they're natives.
Mhm.
That's the proper name to call them, not Indians. They're not from India. But see, because we were taught that, we got it that way. So
Right.
now your own people call themselves Indians. When they're not Indians, they're natives,
Oh,
they're
I use the word
indigenous.
native all the time, but this
Me
was the
too.
term that everyone was using during the times and stuff like that.
Right.
This was the '90s too, so everything wasn't really politically correct how it is now.
No. So yeah, we all have a name in our foreheads, but they put us specs, you name it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I had this conversation with one of my tribal brothers here that live here in Temecula, and he was telling me basically, so Sal, you know what? I am no different than being Mexican. I was like, how do you figure it? And he's like, I'm half native, half Spaniard. You know, the Spaniards came and they did what they did here, and they put a church here, and now we're a mix of Spaniard and Native American and stuff. But we honor more of our Native American side than the Spanish side. You guys do the opposite. He told me. I was like, oh, that's what it is. You know, it didn't click to me. He's like, you guys did the opposite. You guys honored more of your Spanish side. I was like, I looked at my family and said, you know what, you're right. I did do that. I didn't honor my native side more than my Spanish side. I'm more balanced now and try to balance more of it now so I can try to put the pieces together instead of just demonizing one or the other because of our lies and histories. And yeah, it's opening new doors to knowledge and stuff like that.
Yep. But yeah, there's your answer, Alex. So americana. ¿Y qué? ¿Y qué? ¿Y qué?
That's cool. So you have your Mexican native side, and then
I'm a Spaniard also. I have Spaniard in me. My tata is from Spain.
So yeah, like you have to honor both sides. And
yep.
I've only started recently honoring the Spanish side. That's why I've been making all those posts about all the stuff I found out about the Spanish side. For me, I grew up my whole entire life thinking like, they're the ones who came here and messed up my whole entire culture and impregnated me with all these lies. And so I'm against everything. That's why I say question everything. And I'm like that because I am. Question everything. But I had to seek balance within. If I didn't honor that Spanish side of me, I would literally have a divide within me that would literally create war. That war's still going on strong within me. But I found balance within myself to go, you know what? Let's let it go. Let's create that balance and see where it goes and stuff. And so far, so good, man. I mean, the war within is kind of been very peaceful. So just like everyone has this war within themselves. And I think that battle is an individual consciousness battle within themselves that they have to seek balance.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, Alex explained it to me too, because he was telling me like a month or two ago, he's all, Sal, you're gonna be letting go a lot of stuff lately, and he was telling me a lot of stuff that ended up being 100% true. I was like, you know what? It all ended up to what I'm talking about right now. Thanks,
Alex. With the numbers. Oh, you're welcome. It's with the numbers, yeah. Yeah, no, I love doing that. Like today, Kunjin Queen was a person that they did her numbers wrong. And I calculated, no, you're a life path 2. And I told her about the life path 2. And she was like, yeah, that resonates. And then I told her in which personal years energy she's been dealing with. And it was correct because she just did have a communication problem. But yeah, that could be there's also the Mercury retrograde, which is going to enhance it. But the communication problem with her mother. So and she had problem expressing herself. And she's in a 3-year, and 3 years all about communication and express and learn to express yourself. And that's what she need to work on, and that's what she was doing, and she got the idea. And yeah, that was good for her. That's what she needed to hear, and she's gonna continue on it.
I looked up all that stuff, by the way, when you told me that stuff. And then I found out all my Spanish history because it gave me a shield and all this other stuff that I guess had in my history. I found out, like, I'll be honest, my last name is Mijares, Mijares. And you all can look it up and stuff like that and research this. I found out that my last name is a very, very old name that's connected to, like, biblical times. They say that, like, I am connected with Archangel Michael. And my number is 6 that was on the shield and stuff like that. It was really weird and stuff like that. Like it got real. That's why I got all connected with that Spanish history stuff that I was going through. There might have been a connection with all that because we're talking about old biblical stuff that happened in America and stuff like that. So you guys caught my ear when you guys started talking about the subject before I jumped on here. That's why I'm talking now.
Wow. Cool. Yep. A lot of stuff are going to be revealed more. Spiritual.
Yeah, uncovering more of ourselves, I think.
Mhm.
I have a
Yeah.
really good idea of my past. I know it links up to the native Aruba, the native from Aruba and Holland and the Germanic tribe. And I have Lebanon in there too. But beyond that, I don't know. I think, yeah, well, beyond that will be prior to year 1000. But
Oh,
yeah, we'll see. Yeah, more's
yeah.
gonna come out from ourselves and the future too. What I understand, everything is locked on. All the generation that has passed that you came out from, all your grandma, great grandma, all of them, the DNA is in you. All the information is in you. Now the key is how to unlock it. So play it in your brain. That's not the key. But we have
Mhm.
all the information of all our ancestors in us, and we have our ancestors too. Some, some are as our spirit guides, but yeah, how to see them? I think that's when you have your third eye fully open that you will be able to see and communicate with them.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna happen too with a lot of people. So we live in a very interesting time. So basically, no fear. Keep working on yourself. Keep grounding. Keep learning about your past, and everything's gonna be all right. There's more gonna uncover. This world reality is more interesting than any other movie out there. This world is a movie. And
Yeah.
yeah, we're in a time of great change, a great awakening. You know,
Yes, Kemba, I agree. Align yourself. I mean, this
aligning
is
with
our time to, this is a year for all of us to line up together.
yeah,
Your truth
med-
set yourself free.
Yeah,
yeah,
indeed.
meditation is key. Grounding is key. Turn off the television.
Balance is key. Body, mind, and soul.
Yes,
Mhm.
only bite and soul, all of it. You know, your food is your medicine. So look what you're putting in your body too. And if you cannot get good stuff, bless the food. That will help also with
Yes. Your body
energy.
is your temple.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
It's very true.
Well,
Let
if you want to win the war in yourself, and this took me a long time to realize, uh, you have to stop listening to what other people tell you. When we come into this world, our parents tell you, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a lawyer. Uh, the schools silence you whenever you try to be your, creative self. They tell you, like, for instance, I'm an empath. And when I talked about being an empath, people told me I was crazy, that, people just don't do that.
Yep.
Um, when I was young, I found out that I could remove pains and symptoms from my body by touching sore areas that I found. I had no idea what acupressure was at the time, and people told me I was crazy. My dad actually believed in me, which he was the only one. Um, but just stop listening to what other people say about you, and just be yourself. I think that's the big key right there.
You explained something huge there. I think it's by design that we are placed here with like lies and everything. So we get reprogrammed into something weird. And then when we reach a certain level of consciousness, it's not an age thing. I think it's a consciousness. When we reach a level of consciousness and awareness, we realize that we have to seek our truth, our inner truth, and go from there and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I notice all of us have that individual life path to take
Yep.
and stuff like that. And they're telling their stories. And then when they tell their stories, it's a little bit of a key to our stories.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Again, going back to the puzzle, right? Yep.
yeah,
It's the same meaning, one meaning for everyone, but we all have that little piece of that meaning to bring it to that big meaning. You understand? One big
oh
meaning
yeah,
for all of us to do. but we all have that little piece of meaning to get to that big meaning, which is happening now.
I wondered that too. Why do our memories get erased? I'm assuming that maybe it's because of the free will illusion thing that I pointed out. We believe so strong in these free will illusions that we are willing to die and everything for these free will beliefs and stuff that we've implanted within ourselves. And sometimes we have to let go of those memories, I think, to
Mhm.
remember in our hearts what our truth is and then set it free. That's my personal belief of I think what it is. I could totally be wrong about that too.
Oh yeah, otherwise it wouldn't be a challenge too. You're talking when you're being born and you forget all of the things. But I
Mhm.
understand, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we
It's a,
forget everything, and then we're programmed from like society, schools, religion, family, culture, the world to believe a certain thing, and then when we reach a certain level of consciousness, we question everything. So I literally listen to people who question everything. Those are the people who are right into that level where I'm at, where they're like, okay, they
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
something out.
Yeah. That's the only way you're gonna find the truth is by questioning it.
yeah, by questioning, not by
Mhm.
following, you know, questioning things.
Yippee.
Not going with the narrative or the mainstream. Most people are going with the crowd, you know.
With Jason's comment there, he says I eat junk food and put a bunch of stuff in his food or his temple, his body. I think what it is like everybody's body's different, and sometimes you need a little bit of this and a little bit of that to seek your balance and stuff like that. So it's just like that saying of the what is heaven for the spider is chaos for the fly, so to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
Mhm. We
Oh yeah,
Kim says we have a third brain.
We do. They
yeah.
found it recently. I don't know if you guys saw that. Scientists found a brain near our stomach and stuff like that. Like just
Yeah.
recently, I was like, wait, what? There's another brain we don't know about?
Oh yeah.
Did
You have
did
three. You have your physical brain inside of your head. Your strongest brain is actually your heart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
And the stomach is actually a brain too, and that's why um, Taoists and Tai Chi practitioners and Zen Buddhists they breathe down to their stomach, so that when you breathe in, your stomach moves out instead of your chest, and they actually revitalize by doing that. It's very it's very good for you. But the stomach is the brain that processes your lower emotions, your fear, your anger, jealousy, things like that. The heart, obviously, is the brain that controls the emotions, and your logic is obviously in what we call the brain.
I hear that's where everyone's going back in their consciousness. We've fallen in consciousness and went into our head consciousness, but what I hear is we need to go back into our heart consciousness because that's where we hid all the our sacred knowledge and the what they call it the sacred part of our heart. There's a certain part of our heart that holds the stars and the universe and everything that cannot be touched by the head consciousness and stuff like that.
Yeah, your bioelectric field is actually produced by your heart, and that's how you feel the world around you.
I hear there's two people awakening too. There's the people awakening their third eye with their head consciousness, and these are the service to self people who believe in make turning you into commerce and having corporations and stuff like that. And then they're the people opening their third eye with the single part or the single sacred part of their heart, and then basically becoming a service to others, and love and light and everything. You could. I read
Mhm.
energy, so it's something like you say. I'm basically an empath too. I just don't like calling myself an empath because I've learned to put walls up on my empathism. Because like
Right.
sometimes I
You have
just let it go and I feel people suffering and it really gets to me and stuff like that. So I had to create barriers and walls and stuff lately. So when I don't show emotion, sometimes I'm actually trying to create a wall because I didn't want to feel that suffering at the time because it'll just make me start crying.
I fully understand that. You have to. I don't put up walls. I project love into the world. because
Oh, I do that too, but I tell myself I don't want to connect into it at that time because it takes me a long time to not feel that. I don't know how to let go of that feeling of hurt and suffering and stuff. That just it gets to me, and it takes
Well,
weeks
for
for it to
me,
release.
well, for me, and Jason can say if I'm saying the truth, I can't. I have to heal that person. I take it. I go through the healing to heal that person. I take what they're going through. And because God, grandfather knows I might be going through hell like always, but you know what? He's there for me to keep me up going. But if I have to heal someone has an empath, I'm gonna do it, even if it's hurting me. But I know in the long way, I'll be healed by grandfather, and plus Jason's healing me at the same time because I'm taking someone else's energy at the same time. So yeah, it's very interesting that some people do it and some people don't. They, they just don't want it.
You brought up something that I didn't even acknowledge. You see, I wasn't thinking about the individual. I don't think about the individual consciousness. I think about the universal consciousness. So I'm not just
Right,
thinking of that one person. I'm thinking about that whole culture and society at
right.
that time and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I didn't even that didn't even
Because
my mind just went right now.
because we
So
we all has empath can take someone else's healing. If there's another empath that is hurting, and if that other empath is strong, like say I am, even though I have to be pulled down, I don't care. But if I have the strength to heal that other empath, I prefer because that empath is more important too. If I can handle it, then grandfather's going to help me help that empath to be healed because he needs that person to heal this world. And if that person, I can't say who it is, but that person is down, then she or he is going to be still the same way. So I have to heal that person. And Jason knows this, right? Jason, I tell him all the time who it is. And I prefer to that. I prefer to heal that empath and take it. I take it. Even Jason tells me to stop it, but I can't. I have to heal it. I'm a healer. I'm a warrior, and I can do it. That's why I go through it through people, not just this person. It's been through a lot of people through my path I've been healing.
and
here,
that
I'll share something else too about that UFO experience I had. Something else I asked like why they were here and stuff while I was out in front of my house and stuff, and I got an answer. It was they were basically saying that they were here to help. They were helping
Mhm.
people, but they needed to help people in LA at the time. So it wasn't even about me. They came and acknowledged that they were around, and they gathered and went to LA somewhere to go and help people and stuff like that. Personally, they said that they were only here to help people awaken to their true selves. Basically, I
Right,
thought that was really deep.
right.
I still
You
don't know
see,
what it was though.
we're all different in empath, right? There's dark empath, there's light empath. But the light empath, trying to heal another light empath, it it's hard to explain to you guys because I'm still trying to heal that person. Every time I'm near that person, I take it and I receive it because grandfather knows I have to, or else I would have left that person away from me if it was doing danger. And it's not. It's something I have to do. It's a spiritual realm thing. So if we're empath and you are feeling something hard on you, it's not because you don't want to heal that person. You have to. You have to take it. But some people don't want to, like Jason blocks it somehow. I don't know how he does it. You
I
block
did
it.
the same too. You know, I found a way to block it. The only reason why though is because I almost literally wanted to die and end myself because the
Right.
energy was so extreme that I couldn't take it
Yeah.
and stuff. Because I was
Yeah.
overloading myself. I wasn't going by the individual. I was going by the
Right.
whole
The
community. I
whole
wanted to help everybody, and it was too
right.
much for me. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can understand that part if when it's the world that you need to heal, but that's a big old but because he sends me to people. He doesn't bring me to the whole world. He brings me to that certain people where he puts me in his path, in their path, basically. So it's like one-on-one healing. And so when it's the world, my healing for the world to get love and peace is by praying, a warrior, and pray and pray, pray and pray. But for when it's one-on-one, then it's just one-on-one healing wise. Like I said, I'm strong. I might be weak in some areas of my body, physical body, but I prefer that to heal that other one that needs to be healed.
That makes sense. You know what I had an elder tell me? And I would normally keep this to myself, but since we're all on the same levels here, he told me that everyone that's an old soul has come here on this planet right now in this second for a reason to learn about the land that they never did before and stuff like that. There was a reason for certain people to come back at this now and stuff to learn something, a valuable lesson, huge lesson.
But also you can but also you come back to heal.
Yeah.
You heal the land, the plants, the animals, the people. Everybody has a position, a place, what you're supposed to do when you come back. And the ones that are coming back at this moment that are already here are the ones that I can assure you that are empath. I can assure you that those are the ones that that came already back, are empath.
Nope. The ones that are coming back are already here. They're just not consciously aware that they're here.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Yeah, they're gonna
Mhm.
awake and just be like, boom, with this, like beyond lifetime of knowledge to share with the world.
Mhm.
I
I'm
see it.
telling you, don't. I tell Jason, don't be afraid of me, Jason, because I tell Jason straight out what's gonna happen before he says anything to me, or I tell him something and he goes, "How'd you know?" And I said, "I just know, because I'm an empath." Jason, can back me up on this.
That's entirely true, and I do not get scared anymore. I've just come to accept it. Takes a lot of burden off my plate because I don't have to talk about them.
I
I'm
already
the
know
same
it.
way. I'm the same way. That's why I always kind of talk over you guys, and I apologize for that. So sorry.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm not. I don't think I'm an empath. I'm more the light warrior type. Well,
Yeah.
everybody has their thing.
Yep.
Their mission here on this planet.
Yep. There's a lot of you, Alex. There's a lot of empath. There's a lot of everybody has same gifts, but there's a lot of us that has the same gifts that we all use it all at
You
once.
guys get the ringing in your ears also? Oh,
Yeah, I do.
yeah, yeah. Like it gets loud sometimes when I really need to pay attention about something.
And you know who's
Oh yeah.
my protector? Sal?
Who's that?
Michael.
Ah, yeah.
He's my protector. He's always with me. I've seen him
That's
already.
that's where I trace my ancestry from on my Spanish side. The last
Mhm.
name Mijares is it researches all the way back to like the King of Castile days, but before that, that was the only reason why they can research it there because that was the around that 13th century is when they actually started using those family plaque shields
Yeah.
that Europeans use and stuff like that. But before that, I've researched my family and it says that it traces me back to Archangel Michael and stuff like that. And during the European times when my family came here to America, they were being persecuted by something huge happened. I guess there were Spanish Jews that ended up getting exiled from Spain, and they came down to America to start something new. And that happened in El Paso, Texas, and stuff. And there's history about that too. So that's the stuff that I've been researching with my
Yeah.
native side and the Spanish side lately.
Yeah.
So that's a lot I need to learn about. And they were saying this could also be a lie too. This could be something that maybe they moved from somewhere else, like the New York part of the United States, down to Texas because of a huge holy war. Because I honestly believe something big and everything started in America. Also, like there's something about it that we're not being told, and
Mhm.
I'm really trying to learn this stuff. But the stuff that I've been taught and been educated about, a lot of the stuff I can't tell to the public, and I wish I can. But it involves people's cultures and stuff, and it would cause consciously not ready. That's what I keep hearing. We're not consciously ready for me to share that knowledge, because if I did share that knowledge, it would explain certain things that happen with America and certain tribe cultures and stuff like that. They don't want me
Right.
sharing. It's like, Sal, that's a big no-no. Not
Right.
ready. Wait till we are able to explain that. I'm like,
Right.
okay, because I'm one that literally goes to different places all around the world, and I'll ask these questions and stuff like that to
Yeah.
get my answers and stuff like that.
Mm. Well, I'm gonna head out, y'all. I gotta get ready for work tomorrow. For
All
tomorrow.
right. That
Thank you
was
for
cool.
having me up here.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for coming up. Been
Yes,
awesome.
it has been. But a lot of good topics. But
It
yeah, I
really
wanna
is.
look into that the Peru, Alex, what you said about that city.
Yeah, we can look into Peru. Next time we can look into Central and South America. There's a lot of things in South and Central America. So we can look in the Caribbean too. There's things in
Yeah.
the Caribbean too. So yeah, we can look onto that next time.
Okay. Yeah, because it sounds like it's very interesting about Peru. Since I already know about Nazca lines and the
Oh yeah,
some other history on Peru.
Oh,
yeah.
Peru is the epicenter for the
Yeah.
elongated skull people that I've been talking about for many years. There's two of them. There's the one that are like the flat looking heads
That,
and then
yeah.
there's the cone head looking ones that are
Yeah.
in, those are the ones that are the main ones, basically, that they say is the ancient culture that everyone talks about that started in Egypt. They say that there's finding more about them in Antarctica and those ruins there and stuff. I hear lately that I hear elites are going there trying to steal knowledge and stuff. And I'm just being honest about that. That's a big topic of mine that I've been researching too. So I can't wait till we can
Yeah.
talk about that later.
Okay. Sure.
All right, cool.
But it was awesome. Thanks everybody for coming. I hope everybody has a good week. I'm not sure if Casey and Mary are gonna go live Tuesday. They mentioned, but I'm not sure. But anyways, but I thank everybody for coming. Alejandro, Sal, Jason,
You're welcome.
Queen. Who else?
I'm here.
Good vibes.
Yeah, thanks you all. Everybody in
Thank
chat.
you.
But
That's
anyways,
very much.
peace and love, blessings, and keep your eyes open, your ears to hear and speak the truth. It's time. But most of all, and most important, unity. Unity and love. Because that's what's going to overcome us. What's coming. But anyway, see you guys at Matt, hopefully soon.
Yes.
Um,
All right. Take
Much,
care,
much,
Good
everybody.
much,
vibes.
much love and many blessings, y'all.
good night. Good night, everybody. Oh, I can't.